All right, so I think we're live again. So what's up, Shamika?
Hey Mo.
Been up to?
I'm just hanging in there. I'm like, everything pull you every direction. I was like, this the best thing Mo could. I'm like, good. I need this some me time.
Yeah, we need to get it in.
Yeah, I'm so behind in the stocks, but I was like, I see my little stash account been going up. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on with it because I haven't been on top of it. My ex-husband was sick, so he was in the hospital, and it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm. You
I'm
checked
like,
on it?
well, I had to take care of him basically,
Oh, okay, okay.
because he has diabetes. So it's like he was in like keto acidosis with the diabetes because he
Mm-hmm.
don't listen.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
He don't listen. I'm like, so he was in there for like a week, but then he was here with me for a week sick. And I'm like, no, by the fifth day, I'm like, listen, I don't care. If you don't want to go to the hospital, you got two choices. The ambulance taking you to the hospital, I'm putting you in the Uber,
Ah.
your mother. you know?
You gotta go home.
Listen, I was like, listen, I can't help you. I did everything I could for you, but from this point on, it's like I don't have what you need. You need IV fluids, you need anti-vomiting medicine, you need all that stuff I don't have.
See, that's
so
why I'm doing this 60-day challenge because we waiting too late to
that
respond.
but see, that's what I told him. I said, listen, you've been diabetic for all these years. When you first found out, you know what you're supposed to do, but you don't do it. And you make every excuse not to do it. And now you at this stage 5 years later. And I'm
Mm.
like, you keep it up, you're gonna end up not being able to do your job.
Mm. Mm.
But
Yeah.
he's one of them, he's hard headed. It's like he don't want to really, he keep making excuses, like he don't want to change his eating habits. I
Oh,
said,
he want
okay.
to die.
That's what I told him. And I was playing with him. I said, listen, I'm not, it may come off as crucial and harsh and like I don't care. But the reality of it is this is what's going to be the death of you. If you want to sit there and be friends with diabetes and that be your mate, then you let diabetes be your mate in your death.
So will.
And I just told him I'm not gonna sit here and watch you kill yourself. I can't.
And it's the pandemic too.
Right.
Mm-mm. I
You know.
guess. I said, if you like it, I love it.
There you go. So I just had to say, you know what? And then my daughter's birthday came, and it's like I had to focus on her. Then my other daughter was sick. She ended up catching a cold, which triggered her asthma. So now she's like, "Oh, ma, you think I got COVID?" I'm like, "Girl, you ain't been out the house in 9 months. Where did you get COVID from?"
Oh my goodness.
She has not been at her house in 9 months. How the hell you got COVID?
Well, you never. Well, I mean,
That was the
use
first
the
thing she told me.
washroom or
It's
anything.
no, she don't go out her house. Anything that come in her house, she sterilizes it.
Hmm. So
She
she
has
got sick.
she has OCD like me.
Oh.
We like sterilize everything and clean everything.
Uh-oh.
We be sitting there bleaching the floors 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, you got to stop. You worse than me.
Y'all come over and clean my house.
And she be like, Ma, do you think I should wash the ceiling? I was like, listen, sit down, take the prednisone, and just sit down for a minute. You're killing yourself with them chemicals.
Girl, you're crazy. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, boy? How you doing?
All is well. So I was able to catch a little bit of this Cassava, was it Cassava science? Whoa, 125.
Oh, oh, you did, huh?
Oh,
I I ain't see that
no,
in the chat.
I no, Brandon.
Uh-huh.
Y'all had
Uh-huh.
already posted this,
Nope.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon, y'all had
nope.
already posted this.
Yeah, when it was late,
What you mean?
you posted when
I
you
got
got
in late
in,
too.
posted when you got
No,
out.
60 something bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get in it?
Nah. Mm-mm.
Why not? Too late.
What was it? Option play too?
No, I didn't do options. I couldn't afford
Oh.
it. At that point, it looked like nobody else could either.
Mm.
Some of the options, February 19th. No, they got some people. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's hardly anybody. Let me go to bar chart. But look at this chart. What's up with this company? I didn't even look at the news. Let me see what's going on. I was of course at the chiropractor and I was looking, I was like, okay, this thing done been on there 2 times. Let me see what's going on with this price. And I can at least I was trying to sell stocks just so I could get in it. And by the time I could say I was at like 50 some bucks. By the time I could get them stocks sold, man, that thing was at 60, 61, 62. I got in and I was like, oh, looked like I made a bad decision. And then I look again. Now, this is my first time looking at it since earlier. In the after hours, is at what's this? 120. Hold on. 124. 124.99. And it looks like it's steady going up.
What was the news on it?
Looks like let's see. Oh, was it Alzheimer's study? They have some is a the Alzheimer's study. Look like they make it. So it said it announced encouraging interim data from an open label study of its lead pipeline candidate, sufenfluramine, in Alzheimer's disease. The data from the study showed that the treatment for 6 months with the candidate led to improvement in patients' cognition and behavior scores without any safety issues. Data from this study, along with previously completed data, will serve as a basis for the phase 3 study on the candidate scheduled to start in the second half of 2021. So it soared 141%, 0.2%. That was but that was yesterday. Hold on. Oh no, that's today. Yeah, so let me see. On my Webull, I got it in the Webull. So after hours, it's up. It just dropped a little bit, looks like. But I was impressed and I did not expect to see that. Now, the one stock that I did get, but you knew about, is from the FDUFA date. Sure, it got my Webull looking nice. Okay. I did get now. So this man, let me go to that one. This one. This information is strictly experience and just sharing knowledge. This is not for you all to go out, do your own thing and blame me. Okay. I'm just sharing information. So this one, this is the one day. I got this one, but I got it based on the medical, the drug. And what happened was I was looking for the ticker that agreed with the fiduciary date, but they kept giving me this one, this ticker. So I went on and bought it. When I go to the calendar, let me go to the calendar. I think these going to give me some favors, so I'm just kind of sticking with it for right now. This for his research right here, Brandon. See, when I clicked there, it gave me, when I typed in that particular company, that ticker, it gave me that MNK. So I just thought that maybe that's what it should have been, MNKD. So I just thought they had some affiliation. Those companies had some affiliation. And then I was reading in the comments on Webull, and they were saying that it did. So I didn't really go deep into it. Stratigraph skin tissue. That's what this was into. But anyways, February the 3rd. Wait a minute, was it the 3rd or the 2nd? The 2nd. I was trying to see whether or not they had approved them or not. See, this is this chart, and this is what I was looking for, and I didn't know. Oh, it's on the OTC market, so it would have been on my Thinkorswim. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Well, you know, the only reason I recognize that now because of the conversation on Tuesday.
Right.
I wouldn't have recognized, and I was looking for it. So look where it was, 22 cents, and it went to 80 cents. Damn it.
That'd have been a nice bag.
Yeah.
You had like $1,000 into that.
Huh?
If you had like $1,000 into that.
And I was looking for it, and I was like, I can't find it. But I guess the MNKD is related to it in some fashion because it moved at the same time. It trended up at the same time. So I just got into that one. And I actually played the options on it today. I had played the options on it. And I made like $35. Just kept consolidating around the $6 mark. So so I went on and I took it. I kept noticing that I was only gonna profit, $7.84. I knew it was I was only gonna profit like $35 from it. So I just went on and I sold it. But if I had realized, if I had known the OTC market about that then I would have been able to do that in my Thinkorswim, because the last couple ones I've been able to benefit off of. That's on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to it. So now, what's coming up next? So of course, I made my little play. I missed that OTC, so whatever. Now I've looked into the Regeneron. Is that it? Yeah. There's their date is February 11th for decision making. So I was trying to get in it early on, but you know that particular stock, that company's stock is like what 400 and some. This inflammatory diseases. So let me see. Are 491. So they big bucks. No wait, big bucks. Or whatnot. They put back right here. Look like so I was gonna look to see what today is. Today the 4th?
Today's the 3rd.
Oh, okay. I'm already going over. Okay, yeah. All right. So yeah, 492. So this one's 492. So I was like, yeah, I can't even buy one. Maybe I get some fractional shares or something. Unless I look at the options, but you look at the options on this thing, you already know it's up there because this already had plays with the vaccine, remember? With that treatment, with the remember Trump took when they give him that treatment.
Yeah, he took Regeneron.
Yeah, Regeneron was one. And so I was like, man, I can't even, these options is way up there.
Did you hear what they said about AstraZeneca?
What happened?
I put it in the chat, but it could be like the one and done vaccine.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said. Because I guess they're testing it over in like the UK, and it's a strong positivity that could just be one and done. So possibly so.
No extra shots, just one shot.
One shot.
And it's only $50 right now. I better get in, ain't it? Now let me look at the charts. Wow, the options is low too.
Yeah, I'm
watch
wait
tomorrow. I ain't gonna make it, huh?
I said watch. I'm gonna wait on the news for this one. I'm gonna let the news play this one out, see if that does.
Yeah, but by the time if that happens, you're gonna it might be too late to play our options. You don't think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like if you were to play our options right now, I'll probably get it
Up here. Look at this. We wish to chart this. I mean, this the daily. Yeah. But let me do it. This.
Yeah, I probably get an expiration date way out.
So the last time news came into play, it went to 64. Fill that gap already. Gaps up, and then down. There's a gap here. Put all that into perspective. Let's see, how did I get that in the chart? There we go. There. So that's a gap right there. Let's see what else you got over here to the left. Let me get on these charts. What's up, Marquise?
What's good? What's good, fam?
It's the word.
What's going on, Oba, man? How you doing?
That must be COVID right here.
Yeah, I'm good. Good. You know, not much. Just was taking a breather, watching some Billions.
always learning.
Yes, that's the edutainment, you know. And it's just, I just love it when I watch stuff and I can actually understand what they're talking about because I've learned about it. You know, like,
Right.
it's definitely interesting because they touch everything in that show.
Yeah. What were you watching
right
again?
now?
And what were you watching?
The show called Billions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a series. It's a series that is based on, I can't remember the dude's name, but he's like a real famous trader too.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll look at this later. So those are the ones I had. I mean, I kind of made some moves on in reference to the chart.
Mo, looking at that chart, don't it look like it's going to, like the line is going down to the 40 mark?
Oh, you talking about the RSI?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm keeping mine. Yeah, it's at 42. I keep mine on the I'm on a yearly too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so to chart out, I was just looking to see where the trend was running. Let me put up some indicators. Okay.
I remember the Boji band.
you ain't forget everything, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, might have some winning up in here. Let's put my little indicators up, see where everything is at. That's all. Checking out the scenes. That's the 9 and the 50 actually. That's the cross. Which way you think it's gonna go? And look at it on a smaller time period. Spread that out. I'm just messing around. What y'all got to see? Trying to show off my little skills. My little tools. So there might be some that news. If that news is good, that might do a little something. So let me see what's gonna go my boo. What you into, Marquise? What you got your eyes on?
What do I have my eyes on? Which asset are we talking about?
Oh, these are equities. I forgot. You everywhere.
This is, so we gotta narrow it down. So okay, equities. What am I in right now? I'm in Ford.
I got Ford, and Ford went up.
Yeah. I got an option. I'm an option on Ford.
Oh, you did options?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm in the money now. I
didn't get the options. I should have, but I got 2 shares.
Nice. Yeah, I had to play. It was struggling for a little minute to hit. Honestly, you see that spike up? I missed
right
that.
Here.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I had to missed it. I was doing too many things at once.
Sound like me missing strike price.
Yeah. I was like,
And
damn.
then, yeah, but look, it went again.
Yeah,
On
that's
today.
why I wasn't, tripping because I saw it, make a move at equilibrium. Like,
Yep. It's at
so
11:40.
yep. So that's why I just kept. I was like, all right. Then I just saw the news on it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, we got some catalysts going, so we're gonna let this thing rock out.
Yeah. Let me exactly go.
Yeah, I probably waiting for it to run the highs out, raid those stops up there.
Up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's 11:40. So I wonder what the let me take the indicators off. It's trending. It's definitely has broken resistance.
oh yeah, it's moving now. It's on the way.
It's gone.
It's on the way to pass that high, not that high right there, but then the other high behind it too.
I know they made some changes with their vehicles. Is that the catalyst?
They they said they was gonna do. I forgot exactly. Like Oba had posted it because I was just looking at it starting to make the move, and he posted that news. I was like, okay, that's that catalyst is what's got that move. Yep. Let me see. Shortages. I don't compete for election joins. Periods hit by supply shortages as automakers compete with phone electronics manufacturers.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think this may have been.
Yeah, and just like Ford is just they're they're moving more into the EV space.
Yep.
They're an American trusted strong company. So it just looked like I was like, oh, this is a good place for me to get up in this thing.
Yeah, I got it. I think last Friday, somebody came in off and said, "Get the company some Ford, Mo." I could get some Ford. I was like, Ford ain't been moving in a while. I'm like, okay. I don't know where they got the new from.
Yeah, I started looking at them as soon as I saw that they was talking about making like a fleet of like EV or like EV trucks.
And I seen a picture of them too.
Yep. That's what made me like, oh, okay. Well, they're they're gonna be making some moves. They're making moves that's gonna incentivize them to. Yep.
Peace.
Hey.
What's going on?
Peace. All
is well. How are you?
Good. Are we swapping stocks? Are we sharing what all we invested in this week, or
we're just sharing information? Yeah, what we invested in this week, what we made some moves. I seen the SUV. I seen the SUV that was twirling around. But these are cute.
Yeah, those are pretty nice. Some nice heavy duty.
Look at the inside of it.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a lot of room.
A little spaceship.
Wow.
It's big. That's a big truck. So I can see that.
That's a house.
On wheels. Yep, I was looking at Ford. I'm in MBIS, but stocks.
MBIS?
Yep.
MBIS. V as in Victor.
V as in Victor. Yep.
Yeah, I was in that before. I think it was going up. I think I got that in my status. I think it was like $2 and something.
Yeah, I've been in that one for a little bit. I got stocks in that one. See what should that like I just saw. You see how that rounding bottom? That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of attracted me to that because I had already traded it on a like I think like 2 weeks ago I traded it, but then I saw it start rounding. I'm like, I need to jump back in here.
Hey Mo,
Huh?
I'm gonna sign in from my laptop. So
Okay.
you may get another request.
Okay. So you can see it.
Yeah. So it can be bigger for me.
Okay. That works out.
Yep, and then another one was a marijuana stock. It was it's Canopy Growth. I think it's
Is that the,
CGC. Let me.
I think I got that one. Is that it? That's not the
It's a marijuana stock.
yeah,
Yep,
CGC.
yep, yeah. It's been going.
Wow, look at that growth.
Yep, that was one of the.
That's today, ain't it?
Yep,
Well, right here.
yep.
Wow, look up.
Yeah,
You
that's
did
one.
the author?
Nah. It's a long term.
That's a good long time.
Thing.
Went from 23 to 45. That's $20.
Yeah, I might play some options on a pullback.
Oh, then you come down to here.
Mm-hmm. When I see it kind of running out of steam, it ain't running out of steam yet.
Yeah, look at these kind of look at our volume.
Yeah.
Volume. Let me see what the option looking like on bar chart.
Can I ask a question real quick?
You can.
How is one able to buy stocks on the OTC MKTS stock exchange?
You gotta have the gotta just use the right broker that allow you to get from there, like maybe Thinkorswim or Fidelity, like some of the and if you go to if you go to I'm thinking TradingView, they should be able to show you on TradingView exactly which
I'm sorry, let me go back. What do you mean on TradingView?
Yeah, if you see what brokerage is on and you Google, what if you see what broker that exchange.
Right here? What do you mean?
Going to whichever actual
the stock
talking about. You can look at the stock, see what exchange is on, and then look on Google to see what broker uses that exchange, like allows you to buy from that exchange. I know
so like this right here
has those OTC. Yeah.
I got to think of Swim
Yeah, Thinkorswim and Fidelity is another one that be having those OTCs, but if they don't got no pink slips though, then they might not let you buy it on Fidelity.
Okay.
When I went to Thinkorswim today, I think it said I have to do $2,000 or something like
that. You mean for margin?
I was gonna watch. Let me show you. Oh, what is my Thinkorswim? Hold on, let me stop sharing. Let me go to my Thinkorswim. Make sure my number's not up because they put your number on the screen. I think Red African Tutorial showed me how to hide it though.
Yeah, you can hide you can hide that account info too. Yeah.
Let me log in real quick.
Yeah, Thinkorswim is definitely clutch for those. I'm kind of new to those too myself, so I be having that's what I usually just Google. I actually look up the stock and then Google. What broker has that.
Okay. And I've been hearing like a lot of like stuff like be careful with stocks you invest in on that stock exchange because the companies aren't yet public.
Right. No.
Yeah, that's why a lot of these bigger, I mean, brokers like for that, they won't even let you if they don't, if these companies haven't passed a certain amount of, haven't done a certain amount of, whatever registration, whatever, they won't even let you buy it from them. Like, so they trying to protect you. That's why they're doing it. At the end of the day.
Lose all your little money.
Yeah. So even when I do those type of plays, like I already go into it with the mind state, like, okay, this might not be the most stable company. So, whatever I'm putting in there, gotta be something I'm winning or lose. When it comes to those, even because I do the same thing as far as with different altcoins and cryptocurrency. Some of them altcoins is just, they're kind of raggedy. So you don't some of them exchanges are real raggedy. So like you do have to be cautious, proceed with caution when you're dealing with those type of things.
Right.
But yeah, I was trading Reefer. That is REFR. And I'm hoping this thing didn't break out. For real. REFR.
REFR.
Yeah. I need that to go ahead and break out.
Were you researching your stocks? Where you going? Are you using FinViz? Are you using a screener?
I use all of them, honestly. I use
me too.
I'm gonna use whatever is going with my workflow. That's what I'm going to use, like honestly. But like those ones I posted, those new ones, I've been using those because they give you like analyst ratings. They give you like all of that in one, and you can do like key search words and look up like certain information on it. So I'll be looking I've been looking at those as of late. But yeah, usually bar chart, FinViz. I'm gonna look at the Fidelity usually has really good research information on it. Of course, I might look at Bloomberg real quick, like those type of places. Depending on the nature of the research, of course, the same time too. Like, am I looking at, am I trying to look at some filings, some SEC filings? Like, it depends on the purpose of the research too. But just generally trying to, look at it, I think that, FinViz and, bar chart, just them two by themselves, give you.
Yeah, you get a lot of information.
Yeah, exactly. So those definitely been useful as far as how I've been get alarmed to new stocks. So I have a certain email account that I got all the different like stock news things like Oba told us to do that just will just randomly I'll go look at that email and see all the messages, like all the news and stuff I've got, and I do certain stocks, or I be in, of course, in these clubhouse rooms. I'm in several trading Discord rooms. So when I see people, talk about certain things, I'll just write it down. I'm gonna write it down and add it to some type of watch list. And then, when I sit down later on, I kind of do a process of elimination, just kind of weed through them real quick, and just kind of narrow it down to a few that look good. And then after I see they look good, then I'm just gonna see what sectors they in, how that sector doing, and then of course I'm looking at bonds, seeing how bonds, because that's what's ultimately gonna give me my read, the bond yields, and and of course down to my price action, and that usually sets me up for the things I need. And I have some really nice setups. I'm just realizing that sometimes it just take a little more time to play out. And I need to start looking. I'm seeing now I have to pay more attention to the ATR. How much, how much gas this guy at time. Because a lot of times I'll be in the right place, but at the wrong time.
Yes.
And if you early, you're still wrong. If you depending on what you're doing, if you're shorting or something like that, if you ain't playing certain, time out contracts and stuff, you got your timing got to be on point. So I try to make sure that, now the stocks that I'm getting to got some room to run, and then they have some actual like volume. They got some options activity if I'm doing options. Because before I was just basing off my price action and like, oh, right here we had the order block. Oh yeah, we turned up right here, like this, and that. And it is this. I'm not even realize this don't even really got that many options. Like a lot of people ain't really even trading. Look, it's illiquid, you know. So, and I'm sitting up in here all day waiting for this option player to play out and missing out on all these other things that's really moving. I'll be like,
Ooh,
man,
this one got a good ATM. Oh, well, no, 0.42. But I
yeah,
think this consolidation right here, and it
yeah,
does break out to, I've seen it right here.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
does
It's a,
break.
yep. That's what I'm trying to get a break above that high right there, and then I probably take it. I'm in the money right now. You know, I was in
Yeah.
the.
This high right here, this one.
Yeah. I'm trying to, get out around that. I still got a month on my contract, so
Well, that's good.
yeah.
No, that was yeah, I'm learning. I'm
Yep.
learning how to get those options a little far out.
Yeah, you just gotta pay. You just gotta pay. Be willing to pay that premium. You know, you're gonna pay a higher premium, and
Well,
you have to pay attention to it to as far as if you're in the money or out of money, and how those little Greeks, essentially, over there to break down of like the delta and those certain decaying Greeks that decay into your premium. I've been watching those more lately too, as far as making my decision, as opposed to before when I wasn't even really paying attention to none of that.
right. So I've been learning how to forecast just a little bit on and do. Hey, Sister Camille.
Hey, you over there?
Hey, over.
You over there
Hey,
getting that?
over, Monica. Over my case. What's going on? I see you putting it down. Giving
Yeah.
out that the option game on, which that's why I'm listening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely. I know you over there, getting geared up to go tear that Top Step account up. Congrats! I want to tell you, in person, congrats on that. That's beautiful.
What kind of account?
So, I was so happy when I saw that. I ain't gonna tell you, I was so happy.
Oh, it's a funded account by Top Step.
Oh,
yeah. So I completed the challenge last night.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even been to sleep, man. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm sleepy.
Hey, that's what's up. That's
I was
good.
up, I was like, I was posting. It probably was like 4:30. I was like,
Getting in.
So what's the Top Step account?
200 grand.
Ooh.
Not how much. What is it?
It's the house money.
Oh, so it's a funded account where you don't have to put up your own money to trade, and you're using the broker's money.
Yep.
So with that, Sister Shamika, with that account, I got $200,000 that I can trade with. I'm not going to use all of that, definitely not. But you just have to leverage. So if you want to start taking like 4 or 5 lots or something like that, or 2-3 lots, which I won't. I plan on staying with what I'm trading.
And so whatever you make, you get to keep.
Absolutely.
That's out my bidding range.
No, it ain't. You'll be I don't know if they got any funded accounts for options, but
they have them for futures. Like if people are into the futures.
Yeah, they got definitely futures and forex.
Yeah, and it's just it's great because it's a good testament to how far you came, because it's a challenge. It has strict parameters, so it's gonna put your skills and what you learned so far to the test. So
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
especially when you get to part 2, because then they cut your loss limit down.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know.
Did you feel like that affected your psychology when it came to part 2, or you felt like, you know, you just was able to keep the same mindset?
What I had to do though was I had to check myself on every now and then I would take chances. Like, okay, so but this time around I was like very strict with everything I did. You know, I had to be like the perfect setup, you know. It couldn't just be like an iffy setup, but I had to like, you know, when you see those setups and they like saying hello, it had to be one of those where and then, you know, and then from like staring at charts, you know, I was able to like going from the daily on down to the 15 minute, I was seeing all kinds of stuff in there that I hadn't seen before. So it really you know, just changed my eye, and a lot of things that I had recently been learning, I was able to apply. I was able to see it. I didn't even like, it wasn't like I had to like, you know, struggle to want to implement these things. It just like, bam, there it is. Oh, you know what I mean? So it just became natural. And yeah, that's the beauty of it. You know, being able to go from time frame to time frame and, you know, see where they were correlated. And so, yeah, it really made me pick choosier setups. I was more, you know, I was, you know, as far as like, I was more focused, laser focused on what was gonna bring me profit. I had to actually post this chart, but yesterday, man, I took a trade that was so beautiful. I mean, it was the most beautifulest trade. I haven't posted the charts yet man, it's like I got in it, it just rolled over. One giant engulfing candle, like freaking 100 pips or something. It was crazy.
Was that a short
it was a short, yeah.
Pound or euro?
Was it no, it was might have been Euro USD.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I traded the same thing.
That joint rolled over.
What, day before yesterday?
Yep. That sucker rolled. That was the prettiest thing I had ever traded. Like, I mean, just the way it just folded over. It was amazing.
It had some really tight consolidation before it fell, right?
Well, it kind of like, it took a minute to fall. You knew it was gonna fall, but it was one of them joints you had to watch from yet like the day before. Because it wasn't, it was like, it was definitely consolidating. And man, that sucker just rolled over, man. It was beautiful just to watch it unfold like that. I was like, now this is a trade.
Yeah, when it took out that liquidity and made it happen.
Yeah, it just went on down.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I love when that happens. I've had times where I put in my trade and I'm talking about as soon as I hit the button before I can even, you know, add my stop loss, because sometimes I put my order in and I put my stop loss in, you know, like after. If, you know, it depends on how fast I'm moving or whatever. As soon as I put it in, I'm talking about 2 seconds later, shot 30 pips instantly. Like I don't hit buy 30 pips. I'm like, what the? I'm like panicking, like, oh.
Like, panicking to get out. You're like, before it snatch it back.
Exactly, but I always break it down into break my trades into 2 parts. So I just took that first, you know, take profit and move to break even. So I was able to, you know, sit and then let the rest ride on top. But that's love. I just started mine too. I did my first trade, got 20 pips. Yeah, got 20 pips. So
you like it?
Yeah, I mean it's not. I had to get used to it because it worked a little bit different than what I'm used to as far as how to get in and out of trades.
What do you how do you get in? I thought it was pretty much the same. What was
Well, I got kind of got stuck because you know
It does have in that demo. It does have less features though.
yeah, I'm used to hitting the exit and just getting out just by hitting the exit, but it's an extra step. You got to hit exit and then close it out.
Right, you got it right.
Yeah, so that kind of
Exactly.
threw me because I was like, hold on, why is it closing out? What's going on? Like, you know, like why let me put in another order? What's going on here? So I had to figure that out while I was in profit. So like kind of panicking for a second, like, well, what's going on here?
Right, you couldn't get out.
Yeah, so I had to create a stop. I created a stop loss and a take profit, and I kept moving them, inching them like closer and closer to each other.
You learn how to get out.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to get out. I was like, oh, it's gonna hit one of these. I moved the stop all the way up under it, and then the take profit like all the way on like down on top of it. And it was just kind of fluctuating at that spot for a minute. I was like, you don't hit one of these lines and let me out the trade.
Oh man. Hey, I've had a few times where I ended up being in the trade like 2 lots, and I wasn't planning on, because like you'll press the button one time and nothing happened, and you press it again. For some strange reason, you get that pop out. That means you in there like 2 lots. I was like, oh boy, this better work. This better work. 2 lots.
Little things like that. You know, be the lessons.
Yeah. You know, the difference in trading platforms. Yeah, it's definitely and little things like that, man. Like one thing though, I'm telling you, I got smooth as far as like dealing with MT, you know, with that MT4. I be like blah, 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 blah. I be doing I be doing my entries, my stop loss, my take profits, seeing you know, what price point I'm at, drawing stuff.
Yeah, me
know,
too.
Hey, that fib game ain't no joke.
Yeah, it's not, especially, you know, using it for, of course, the OTE, but you know, those equilibriums definitely help you when you're in a buy model and you know it looks bearish, but you know you're still in a buy model, and that equilibrium and those fibs kind of show you that it's a pullback as opposed to, you know, like a reversal, etc.
Right. Oh yeah, I had a field day with those.
Yeah, I kind of like, I got to the point I don't use them as much because I kind of like just know where they're gonna fall by just looking at it now. I can kind of see the point where the optimal trade entry at and the equilibrium is at, you know, kind of just by analyzing it, because I've used the fib so much. Like when I was fib heavy, I'm trying to fib everything.
I only been using them like the last 3 days, so everything else, you know.
Yeah.
But
So
it was just interesting to see, because like when you cross over to like wherever the order block is, even though, and then sometimes you cut through candles too. And that was like a deeper science that you know, that ICT be teaching.
Yeah, you talking about when it stabbed down into there a little more?
Well, when you're looking for the order block, sometimes you might not have a swing high, because that's what makes the order block official, the swing high.
Yeah.
If it's just a shade candle, then it's like relative equal highs or relative equal lows, which price could therefore go through that, because it didn't you know, rinse out the stops yet.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because for a while I wasn't verifying, you know, that swing as far as it, you know, that order block being that wick, you know, candle that extends further than the 2 candles around it. Like for a minute I was just doing the highest, you know, candle, that the order block, or the lowest one that is the proper color.
before the impulse move.
Exactly. But then I saw that, if I refine it and only, look at the official order blocks, then that further like refined my my risk management.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where the cutting through candles thing come in handy, as especially in consolidation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can open up the chart big enough to to see those little specifics in the in the pattern. So
Yeah.
But that I wasn't using them before, but I just like learned how to use them, so I started using them. I was like, oh, okay. But all my other trades prior to last week have all been without fibs. But I like it.
Yeah, see that just came from me learning backwards. That was it.
All right, man.
But it helped. I mean, because once I was introduced to it the proper way, I already had been using it so long, so I knew how to use it. It was easy, to implement it the right way.
Yeah. So I don't know. I need that option lesson, man. I need I be looking at him on Bar Chop. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. The last
I got you. If you want,
I blew up my account. So I'm like, I'm not blowing up no account this time.
Well, they have the paper
I've been
trade.
reading them books too. I got a couple. What's that?
Thinkorswim.
Webull?
Thinkorswim has paper trade.
Yeah, Webull.
I can't get another Thinkorswim.
No, Webull don't have options. Paper trade. You see my Thinkorswim? Oh, wait a minute. Make sure nothing is showing.
I think Webull got options.
Go ahead, live trader.
I'm sorry. I was trying to hurry up and get it off. Look, look, you got 30. I think it's 30,000 options trading in Thinkorswim.
Oh, there you go.
And you get Forex too.
Yeah, I started off paper trading Forex and Thinkorswim.
Now, for some reason, I mean, I actually have. Well, I took Thinkorswim off my computer because it's like a resource hog. That joint be hogging up.
You can put it on your phone.
Like bad freezes. I be in a trade. That joint be and I got a good computer, so I'm like, yo. I be like restarting my computer like 10 times. I'm like, hey. I said, man.
Yeah, it take up a lot of.
Another one. There's got to be another options paper trading thing. Probably somebody can find online.
I don't know.
You should use it on your phone. Just use it on your phone.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if you can paper trade on your phone though. I ain't see that.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can.
But where is it at?
You just switch the account when you log in. You can switch either paper.
I'm about to log in right now.
You put it on Paper Trader Live.
What's happening
on your app?
Hey, what's up, Yo?
What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
What's up, Jelani? My brother Jelani on here.
What's going on, big homie? Well, yep, y'all right.
Chilling, man. Then we right, Mo, and you wrong again.
Right on.
All right.
Oh, Sister Mo, that CMOS was exquisite. I've been getting it in.
She sent you some CMOS.
Yeah.
Brandon purchased some too.
We out here moused up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I be doing CMOS.
You be doing it?
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
That stuff is rough, but I do it.
Rough?
Put it in my tea.
It's with these.
Why is it rough?
We drink that like water now.
Yeah.
Well, I've been using CMOS for a while, but it's just that thing. I put it in my tea instead of my food.
Why not take it to the head?
Yeah, I used to make a shake. I
take it to the head.
You ain't taking it to the head, Shamika?
No, I can't do that.
We didn't get the right blend.
Yeah, well, you gotta have that. That's if you having that chicken of the sea taste.
Yeah, you gotta have you need.
Chicken of the sea.
No, I don't got no chicken of the sea taste. That's straight ocean.
It will give you that if you sometimes if you don't, that's why I like to put lemons and limes in it so you don't get that flavor.
Oh,
When
that's
I soak it, I put lemons and limes in it. It take away that flavor, that extra watery flavor.
okay. I'm gonna try that.
What I do is I make my soursop tea and then I just put a tablespoon in it.
Where you getting soursop from? I can't find that little fruit for that.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her, Shamika.
Oh, there you go.
I want to know.
No, what it was?
Yeah,
what I did was-
Oh, go ahead. My bad, Sister
Shamika gonna send me some.
I used to get the fruit over here by me in New York, but then they stopped selling it over here. But I used to buy so much I would dehydrate it myself.
Mm.
Oh yeah, you on some boss.
You see that?
I be dehydrating and all that.
Damn.
Got some sour sop jerky.
I didn't think about that one.
Yeah. He's funny. Hey, Mo.
Mo left the building.
No, you still here. So listen, your boy Marcus, he's gonna make me fly out to Cali. Okay.
Uh-oh.
But fly out to Cali, it ain't gonna be nice. Somebody gonna have to pull up some bail money.
I got you.
What's wrong with y'all?
Yo, but Camille got my back, man.
What
Thank
y'all
you,
up to,
Yo,
man?
Camille.
Chris, you coming in kind of low, bro.
Yup.
You can hear me?
We
Hold
can
on.
hear you. It's like
Sound
muffled.
like
Hold on.
Sound like you in the sound like you in the drawer.
Can y'all,
Sound like you in the
can
shower
y'all,
with so much bass on the speakers.
can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I was just telling the brother that Clubhouse went publicly traded. That's all I said to the brother.
I was going to
And he
ask you
got
about
mad.
that.
He was like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's publicly traded." And I took a screenshot and I showed it to him. I'm like, just be more humble, brother. You know, sometimes we don't all, know the answer. It's not about me being right. I was just trying to tell you that was not the same company as the Clubhouse, the app.
Yeah.
I thought
He
you was
said,
joking,
I'm a
bro.
hater. He was telling me I'm a hater because he got his teaching free from Polite.
That's why he don't know that ain't publicly traded.
Well, Chris,
And
you
I'm
wasn't
like,
joking.
brother, I'm not here to beat you down, but I don't care for Polite. You care about him. So that's cool if you do. I'm just saying I don't. But that had nothing to do with Polite. I just tell you that Clubhouse is not publicly traded.
Right.
Cool. Leave it alone. So I'm thankful for Oba Andre and Marquise for sending me side chats and Eoba Camille saying not to engage with the brother because he for some reason he want to be Polite stepson so bad.
Oh my God.
Oh my
And
God.
I just I'm like, if you want to be in love with him like that, that's cool. That's personal. But I'm just saying Clubhouse not public. It's not the same thing. You ain't got to be, a know-it-all. You know what I'm
Chris,
saying? You can be wrong about stuff.
Chris,
Okay?
I thought you was joking, bro.
You know what? If he hadn't put it in the chat with all the other people in there, I would have said let him trade it.
Right. Yeah, Camille told me to do that. You said you thought I was joking, Jelani, about what?
About in the chat. And I thought you had knew the guys. And you
No,
was
we had a prior disagreement because he liked to post Polite videos in the group. And majority of us, we don't really mess with Polite like that. He might, put out a video talking about some information that, we all can agree with or whatever. But, I think he, me, Andre, and a few of us know that nigga been stealing our information from Mo in the show at African Emporium. We know this because Polite has never talked about stocks. He has never talked about gold. He has never talked about Forex.
Right.
But all of a sudden now he's talking about that, and people is buying his classes. And he actually blocked me from his channel
$100 a head.
because I called him out on it. I'm like, bro, you stealing, you know, our information. You ain't never talk about this.
Right.
So, and I don't want to be long with it with this, but he is a worshiper of Polite. Polite has a lot of sheep out here, and I mean literal sheep. They follow and do everything he say until
My
they get
ex-husband
scammed.
is one.
So
My
I mean, if
ex-husband
he
is
helped
one.
you out, that's cool. I just proved my point maybe a month or two ago. I pulled another brother away from Polite. He said the brother didn't help him out. He just tried to get him to buy. Now
He
the
made
brother
what,
in our group-
3K that day?
Yeah, and he making bread.
Wow.
So, you know, I don't want to hear, you know, you want to be support Polite, cool. He helped you. I'm happy for you. But you ain't got to shove that shit in our face like we need to accept that. That's all I'm saying. And, you know, he talking slick on Facebook like I don't travel and I won't go nowhere. I will. And I will take Lisa with me. Lisa is my Smith & Wesson. So they need to start playing games on the internet like people won't come find you. And that's why them brothers, they just told me, listen, don't, you know, he off. Just don't engage with him. And I'm glad they did that for me. I'm sure I thank them. I thank Andre and Marquise and Yoba Camille for, you know, stepping on the side, but like, listen, don't engage with that foolishness.
Was that the same cat that got mad at me because I told him to take that nude picture out or some type
Yes,
of
it's the same brother. Now this
had?
the same brother.
Same
The
dude.
same brother on New Year's saying that he be a little off sometimes, but you know he's really thankful for the information that you know all of us give, and that's cool. We gonna help you regardless. But you know this type of foolishness, I almost kicked him out today. I almost kicked him out because I'm like,
I was wishing you would.
you making it stuff worse than what it is. You know, I wouldn't
It
even
is,
beat you
'cause-
down like that. It was just
Yeah,
your own
the fact-
ignorance and your ego not letting you accept what I had to say. I was just like, bro, that's not the same company. You know,
Right.
if it was Clubhouse, all of us would have been buying that joint. Everybody, y'all know that. Come on. We all would have been hyping that joint. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I had did the same thing. So I had looked at the same exact stock thinking it was Clubhouse. I'm like, oh, this ain't Clubhouse.
right.
Yeah, I
right.
did too. I didn't see it.
And I mean, I did too. I did it a while ago, but I know I'm like, okay, brother, I got skin in this game. I didn't just come in yesterday just thinking like I just know shit. Like I know Clubhouse didn't go public when it just came out last year. So
you didn't know about that. They only been out like
and he's still
on all platforms. It's only on iPhone.
But this is why we say due diligence, y'all. The brother took the snapshot of the stock on Webull. You did not go look at the profile of the company to know what company it was. You just looked at the name and automatically thought, oh, no, they are public. No, brother, let me show you. Let me take the screenshot and go to scroll over the profile to show you that this is not the same company. Boom, brother. That's it. You know, just be more humble. That's it. You know, we all wrong sometimes. You know, you just got to accept the fact he was wrong as hell. So
I think at the end of it, he still believe it is. I don't think he ever actually, you know, conceded to your point. Like I think he still was like, nah, you still tripping. Yep, this Clubhouse, I'm gonna buy it.
Right.
Maybe Polite told him this Clubhouse.
And to be honest, I think I'm gonna say that for private chat, but Yoba Camille said I should have just let him go and buy it. He can't buy it on Webull anyway because it's OTC stock. You can't buy it.
Yeah,
you can't buy it. You can't buy it on Webull. So you have to go to a actual broker like Fidelity or TD Ameritrade to probably actually get it. But she was like, you should have just let him buy it. And you know what, Camille? I should have just let him did that or try to. Because I shouldn't even waste my energy. I'm like, brother, if it was anybody else, he probably wouldn't even argue the point. But since it's me, and I don't like Polite, and Polite is his stepfather, that's probably why.
You ain't even say nothing about Polite though. That's the crazy thing. Like
I didn't say nothing about Polite. He brought up me being a hater.
I think the other dude, one of his homies in there had quoted Polite. like F, like saying something polite, saying like F that. As far as I think you said be humble, and he tried to quote polite saying like F that as far as being humble, and then I guess he think that you said what he just said, and then start talking polite when you didn't say nothing about polite at all. Like,
right, didn't say nothing about polite. I just said, brother, that company is not the clubhouse you thinking is not public.
Right.
That's all I said to the brother. So if he keep running his mouth, I don't give a damn who added him to the group. I'm booting him with my size 12 Air Jordan 13 about the group, because we ain't about to have this foolishness over a man you worship. I don't care about, I don't go to sleep and wake up thinking about no damn polite. Only you do that because everybody don't want to kiss polite ass and worship him like you do. If he help you, cool. You acting like the nigga Jesus or God. So I mean, that's supposed to be personal for you. You know what I'm saying? Take your personal feelings out of it. I'm dealing with logic and common sense. And my common sense say that Clubhouse, the app, is not a public traded company.
Exactly.
Not yet. That's it, brother. Just leave it at that. But anyway, back to whatever y'all was talking about. AWI, I see I bought some shares today to the Ameritrade, and it went up like Oba said. So I got some money today. How about y'all?
Yeah. I got some money.
This one right here?
Yeah, the one we was talking about last night, Mo.
Man, I ain't had money on my TD.
How much did you buy it? Because I was trying to buy some, but it told me
you didn't have enough money.
Yeah.
No.
It told me the same thing. So I didn't have no money either, Marquise. So I transferred some money in there, but I had probably like $8, and I just bought like 100 shares. And
yeah, I was trying to buy 100.
I was trying to buy like 2,000, and I'm like, bro, I got money right here, but I guess it ain't all the way processed. So
did it make you switch it to a limit order, or maybe it made you switch your order up, or maybe you put one decimal that was wrong or something the first time?
I just typed the numbers. That's it. And you know how at the bottom it's got the minus like $11 or something like that. I'm like, bro, this stock is not even a penny. So you know, me buying like 2,000 shares is literally like fucking $6. So you saying I don't have the money for that? Like, what's going on here? I meant to call him about that today. I'm like, bro, I have enough money to buy shares.
Okay,
like,
Sonny, if I let you in this stream, y'all can't argue. I'm gonna have to shut the stream down because Garfield's gonna get me.
No, we ain't about to do that because we done talking. No, don't come on here with that. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna ignore you. So don't come on here with the wrong energy. And if you got something else to say, I'm gonna kick you out the group. I'm done talking. So you're gonna come on here. It better be about stocks and getting the bag. I don't want to hear nothing else. And that's law. That's it. So anyway, it wouldn't let me buy 2,000 shares.
So
why they do that?
When you deposited the money, did it instantly let you deposit it?
No, because I did it last night. I transferred money last night, and I went in this morning trying to get some, and it was like I do not have my funds haven't settled yet, basically. And I'm like, man.
Okay. So
I guess it's like 3 to 5 business days or something. Maybe.
Did you have to put a significant? Did you have to put 2,000 in, or just some money?
I don't know. I don't think it's no limit on that.
Okay, so my note said,
stash party, y'all. Just to let y'all know.
That's what that was. You know what? I knew that alarm went off for something.
Hold on. Stash party.
Stash party.
Everybody drop what they do.
Is it in the room?
You need it. It's stash. It's stash.party.com.
Party.stash.com.
Either way, it'll come up either way.
Just type it in. Just type it into Google. It'll pop up. Just type in stash party. The link will pop up.
Oh, okay.
Get it.
What is a stash party? I've never heard.
Remember? No, Jelani, you said you didn't want to deal with stash. Stash be giving out free
Chris
stuff.
has failed you. Chris has failed you.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. I tried to get him to get on Stash because they give out free stocks or a
And he
fraction
didn't
of
want to get on?
shares. Every
Well, no, see, no, I'm just getting on the Webull, right? I'm just getting on the Webull.
Right.
I just
Uh-huh.
got to put some money in there.
$5.
$5? It say I got to put like 100.
Man, put a $5 in there and keep it moving.
No,
Okay.
Mo, he got to put $100 in to get his free stock.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
to get
what
his
I'm
free
saying?
stock. Well, you better get
But
your
if you
money
just
up.
want to use the platform, yeah, you can just put $5 in and do whatever you're gonna do. I don't know what you're
Well,
gonna do.
stash, you don't need to put that much.
He said he didn't really like Stash like that, so
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
ain't,
don't know
yeah,
what he don't like yet.
I ain't, you
Yeah,
know,
personal.
ain't nothing wrong with that, Jelani. Everybody got their preference, bro. So
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got $35 in there. I thought I closed the account out,
And
but
stash?
apparently I didn't. Yeah, I got like $35
Oh,
in
you
there.
got it. Then you could do stash party.
Okay.
yeah, you can still do Stash Party. You can log
Okay.
in and claim it.
A stash party. Let me see. Let me. Is
Yeah,
it
just type it
invitation
into
only?
Google.
A stash party.
Party.stash.com.
Okay, I'm on the app on my phone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, just type in what is that? You can go to Google, type in Stash Party, and first link should pop up where you can click on it to log in and all that.
Okay. Party.stash.
I guess Stash giving us a good apology for trying to, not let people buy GameStop and AMC and all of that on their platform. So
Well, you know them little platforms like that, they don't, they don't be having all them shares. They
right.
basically what they about is having people on there. That's where they make money from.
Yeah.
Any like those that company like with Robinhood and all that, they don't take commissions. Of course, you ain't gonna get no order filled when you ain't paying commission. And you got mug shares that pay commission. Please.
Yeah. And they didn't have all the money, man. Too many people cashing out.
Yeah, those apps are like, that's why they apps. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're like, they're for, like starting out trading. You're not supposed to be trying to go hard. And Robinhood, they're gonna be like, whoa, pump some brakes. We ain't got no more shares.
Y'all be did y'all take down that airdrop, that crypto airdrop site that I be posting?
What crypto?
Now somebody took it down?
No, I
You
don't think
talking
nobody.
about the Brave website?
Nah, that's one of that's Brave browser. You get crypto for browsing, but it's
Yeah.
it's airdrop. It's all right. So all these different like crypto companies, whenever they have airdrops, they post it on this site, and you basically just got to do whatever like little tasks they tell you to do, and you like the airdrops be like $10, $5 or whatever crypto, and I'll just get those cryptos and then sell it and buy Bitcoin. Of course, I don't really keep them, but
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
those,
got a question
every
about a
day.
wallet afterwards. Because I mean, I got my crypto on
Coinbase.
yeah, but I wanted to move it to my wallet. So I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right.
Yeah, I got you. I can help you with that. I personally like blockchain.info, their wallet, and they have an app too.
So really?
Yeah, I like theirs. I've been using theirs since probably the beginning.
Blockchain.info.
Yep.
Let me check that out.
So that's the one that give you the apps, the stuff to do, and then you get free crypto.
Nah, that's I think it's airdrop.io crypto. I have to look real quick. Let me look. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so this is the wallet, blockchain.com. I think I signed up for this. Buy swap so my wallet is where's my wallet? You see that guy that had that millions in crypto and couldn't find his key?
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. I have plenty of crypto that I'm never gonna be able to get. But the website was airdrop.io. Airdrops.io. AIRDROPS.io. But yeah, I have crypto that I know I had in wallets. I know I had certain places, and I might have threw my hard drive away, or my flash drive away, or I might have certain AOL emails that I had crypto in. AOL completely purged all the data. Oh man, yeah. I ain't no telling how much I might have had out there.
Yay, that's crazy.
So that's why people stress hard.
Yeah, that is my wallet. That is my wallet, Oba. Blockchain.com.
Yep. I prefer that one. But that's why a lot of people stress, having your own keys and having all your own private keys and everything too, because if at the end of the day, if one of these sites that connects you to it go down, you still need to be able to access your crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking about, as I invest more in it, I'll get like a hard wallet.
Yeah, like can't you like switch it from the site to a drive?
Yeah, but it got to be a particular thing, right? Right, Marquise?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, all you really have to have, if you have your private keys and your public keys or your security phrases, like if you have this stuff written down, that's essentially all you really need to ever log on any other place that allows you to import your keys. So if you have that's what we call paper wallets. Where people would write back in the days, people would literally write down all their information, their private keys, their public keys, all that stuff, and put it in a safe or something. So you can essentially do the same thing as long as you have, whenever you sign up for your wallet, if it's an actual wallet that gives you your private keys or your security phrases, like they'll tell you to write all this stuff down at the beginning. So like that is what you need to get in other places, at the end of the day. You need more specifically your private key,
Okay. So since I'm using the same thing, blockchain.com. So if I want to take my crypto off of what's the other one?
Coinbase.
Yes.
So you would go to your wallet that you on now, the blockchain.info wallet, and you would go to like receive, and then it's gonna show you your crypto wallet address. And you copy that address, and then you send the money from your Coinbase to that address. You would paste that address in Coinbase under like where it says the input to receive the money once you send it from Coinbase. So you would get that receive address from blockchain.info, and you would use that as your receive address on Coinbase. And then the money will go from Coinbase to that wallet.
Okay. So I will go to where it says wallet. Like when you come on the site, you got like Wallet Exchange Explorer.
Yep, wallet. You got to go to your wallet and log in. You're talking about the blockchain.info, right? Or it's also blockchain.com. I'm just used to .info because that's what it is. Before they bought the domain, I'm just used to saying that.
Right. No problem. I figured that.
Yeah, if you go to your wallet, it's going to, once you type in your password and everything, it's going to, show you at the top part send and receive. You go hit receive, and that should reveal your Bitcoin address wallet for that particular wallet.
I'm logging in. Oh, they want all type of authorization.
Yep. Yeah, they ain't playing.
I guess that's good.
Yeah, because it was created amongst hackers and stuff like that too. Like, so they have that security is one of the main aspects of it. It's actually created using cryptography, which is a type of encryption, 256 encryption that they use in the military.
Okay.
That's why they call it cryptocurrency, because it was created using cryptography.
Okay. Dang, what's this now? I got another code. God damn.
That's how it be.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you ain't gonna be doing none of this stuff in a hurry.
Yep, that two-factor authentication,
Yeah.
That is just it's an industry standard now,
Yep. Uh-oh. My login. Hold on here. Okay, let me try this one. Sent me 2 codes. All right. Come on now. There it is. I'm in. Okay.
Ooh, hey, Mo, what this is right here?
Oh, this was on Weibo. This that cussing over times. This happened today. I mean, this just happened in the after hour.
This the after hours? This thing it just went from what? $3 to $100?
120, 124 at 4 o'clock right here. Went from 88. Well, it started, it started making moves all day. You could see it was creating higher highs.
Yeah.
And that's when I got in at the 60 something. It was like 69 or something. And I was like, wow, this been creating higher highs all day. So something must be good about it right here. And I was like, okay, I got in at $62 or somewhere around. Matter of fact, I was trying to get in way down here. And I started selling other stocks that I wasn't winning on. I was like, I'm about to get this because this is creating high highs. And I look again, I'm about to shot to 62. I said, oh Lord, I lost $10. But anyway, in the after hours, you see what it did? Look.
Wow.
Yep. And now, I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a nice
How did you find that one?
It's on Webull's top gainers.
Oh, okay. It was just moving. So
yeah, it was just moving. I looked at the chart and I was like, ooh, this is nice.
So you got an option on it?
No, because by the time I seen that thing was already up in the 60s. Let me go to it. I wish I did, Sister Camille. Shoot.
With a move like that.
What? I'll be at Wet Willis right now. Say something, Brandon. Say something. It's gonna drop. It was at 1:30. It had went to one. Look, yeah, I went to 1:20 after hours, or is it 87 at close? And I called it right before that. Somebody got somebody. Look, all the volume that came in just today.
That's crazy.
This is crazy. Look at the Washington. That's crazy. Let me go because that's stopping at 80. Oh, that coming.
Oh wow, that's so that strike price. That's like,
look, why I can't even get past $80.
Why? Because it say UNCH.
I don't know.
I think that's all the options that's available. Like I don't think they have them. I think that's what that means.
Because remember, it opened. Hold on, move it over. Well, I guess I could have just closed it in like this.
Dang, that was just like in 3 days.
Yes.
Went from like $1 to 100.
Yeah, look.
You go 0 to 100 real quick.
Let's do it one more. Yeesh. Look at this. This is February the 1st, $22. Look at all this consolidation all the way across. It's just made up, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Just let one of my options plays hit like this, please.
Ooh, let me tell you.
Our ancestors, please.
Yes. I saw it right here. Yesterday, I seen it yesterday, and I was like, wow, okay, it's still doing this thing on the second. And I was like, today, I was like, I better pay attention to this. And I seen it making higher highs. I said, I'm gonna jump in. I jumped in right here, 62. And boom, there it is.
Wow. Go ahead.
Man, you could imagine if I had an $80 option. I'd have been screaming. Look at that. And all those open, a lot of volume. And this is 19th for the 19th.
Okay, so when you're looking for an option, which one of these is in the money and out of the money?
In the money when it's already
at the price,
money, right?
All of these is in the money.
All these because all green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like you in the money once you reach that price.
Huh?
I would say it's basically like you in the money once you've reached, that price. Like everything, I think it's a good way to describe it.
You better get back in the class.
Like if it's
I wasn't even.
So it's out the money. So if it was at, so if it was at $50, if it was $50, and if it was an option at 55, a call option at 55, that 55 will be out the money. But if it was a call option at 50, that means you in the money.
Okay, so yeah, because the price is already
exactly. You're at those options. The price has already reached those options, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, reached these. It's been
So
past this.
if I was anticipating the price being higher, I would be buying out of the money in anticipation.
Close to in the money as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Close to in the money as possible.
Yeah, because the further out of the money
I use the indicators to help me make my and the moving averages to help make my decisions.
Yeah. The further out of the money the options are, the more your premium would decay. Like like your money will go down faster, and it won't increase as fast as if it was in the money.
Okay.
Because you have like a premium that you pay to get this option, and it's like the Greeks, those certain little factors, gamma, delta, those different factors are basically different factors that kind of eat into that, or they can dictate how much your money is going to move by for every dollar value, for every like point value. So like understanding those little factors, gives you a more refined of how this is going to move. But if you understand just basically in the money, out the money, what are the options, then you
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get first.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the Greeks and any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
Without any of them other Romans and
you crazy. I'll use the Bollinger Bands to look at what I think of my strike price I want to hit, where there's a caller options. And I'll also use the ATR. I'll go and see what the ATR, what is moving for the day.
Right. Okay. So are you do you hold your options, or are you day trading them?
Well, oh no, I'm not day trading them. I ain't that good yet. I don't have that much money. But I'll do a weekly. I just started doing options out in advance. The more I started to understand, do a month out, or the month out is the furthest I've gone. I'm looking for something I can do 6 months or a year out, like a leap option.
Right.
But I haven't run across, nothing that I could afford.
Yeah, the
I
premium
really,
crazy.
I want to do one on fuel cell.
Yeah, something like long term, like maybe like
Yeah, because fuel cell has been price action wise. It's been I knew the emperor would come in. Fuel cell, the emperor.
Watch out, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka.
I call him the emperor. I said, knew the emperor would come in. Look at these options for fuel cell. I knew fuel cell. So when I look at it, and I go and I look at when I look left, I look at the price action. Oh, let me move this out of the way. So I'm kind of marking off these different areas. So I played this area, and of course it exceeded. It went past my resistance. Now it became my resistance, became my support. So I marked up a new area, and look, it's almost. I wasn't paying attention today because I didn't do anything with it. But when I look at the bar chart, but when I look at the ATR, so I'll go to look at the ATR and see the range. I done wrote the ATR in the thing.
Yeah, you got to do that, man, with these options. That's one thing I don't realize.
Yeah, I'll go and look at the ATR and look at fuel cell performance for the year. Look at that. That's crazy, right? So 2.56. I'm like, and I have it in long term. So
that looks nice on the long term.
Yeah, and I done played 2 options on it. And the first, I'm telling you, I started off the year with this, and I made a good decision, but I made $250. I got out too early, and it shot up. I had a $10 call, and it was. And don't ask me. I'm gonna tell y'all when I had it due. Y'all gonna beat me up. It was. Oh, we want to say. I had looked at that chart. I had gotten it early on when you guys first started talking about election, when you first started saying about renewable energy and the Biden's play. And this is the stock that I had I selected. And I had gotten the options for February 19th. I had gotten it in January. I had a $10 call. I had a $10 call in January for February, and it was this one and a Tiva stock, and I got happy because it went to I got it happy too early. I didn't even look at any of the indicators. I didn't look at any of the volume. I wasn't looking at none of the trend. I got super. I never forget. It was the morning. I was sitting. I was eating breakfast with a friend of mine, and I got super excited. And they said, "Mo, do not trade it." And I did it anyway. They walked away, went to the restaurant. I did it anyway. And ever since then, that bad boy has trended. As you can see, it has been on its merry way. Hold on, let me do 1 month. Let me do 1 month. Let me spread it out. Spread it out a little bit. See, and you can see where I have marked off, where I got in, and it went to that $10. And Monica Lamb, with her little trigger happy self, way over here. I have been watching it since way here. So in January, I played the after the election. After the inauguration, or right before it or something, and I played that $10 option or whatever, and I made the $250, and I got out, and you see what it's done since then. And I had the options until February. It's gone now. That's look, it's gone now.
Look at that W pattern.
Yo, you see that?
That's it, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
taking off.
That's what's up. You picked a good stock, because the same time you picked that one, I picked Sun W and mine, and doing what too. But I didn't know about the options yet, so I just grabbed the stock. But
You
yeah,
did
that's
the sundown, huh?
nah, Sun W.
Oh, Sun W.
Yeah.
Hey
Mhm.
sis, I gotta show you how to where you that way you can have your favorites, your indicators. Like so
Oh yeah.
like you can have your toolbox set up.
I was trying to learn. I was trying to well yeah, you probably that to teach me. I was trying to work on that. So the best I have gotten is the horizontal line going across. To Mark, listen, I understand it. If I don't know rhyme or reason, nobody. But I understand my little price action moves. So, like I said, I went past the first and now, so I got it. I got a few shares, and I looked at it today, and I was like, you know what? I could make a good options play on this. I think I can. So I was charting it out. I was looking at it a little bit right before Port African Emporium came in last night, and we did some other stuff. I was gonna chart. I was gonna go back through it again based on some more price action to the left
Mm-hmm.
to see because it had already exceeded my area that I had selected before. So, hey, Brother African Emporium.
Could you go to the hour?
Let me go to the hour. Okay.
Yeah, you awesome Africans in here getting it in. Up to all you beautiful people out there. All my constituents here on the panel and the chat. Peace to the Dagger Squad. Urban Economic Empowerment Show. Y'all know how we do every Wednesday. I'm actually, getting in a little rest time. I've been going on for the past 3 weeks, so I'm just trying to, relax a little bit, let my eyes and my brain kind of thaw out a little bit. So forgive me for not catching a lot of the lives when I can. It's a lot. Little detox, but you know how it is when, as they say, duty calls. You can't help but want to help and share and learn. So I said I got like a hot 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'll jump on really quick here, share what I can and help you guys if you need anything too. So, so if you got any questions, don't mind. Fire away. I'm here to help. Also,
I need like basic options.
Say option 101.
Option 101.
Yeah, I was telling I think that last night. So when once I get my main channel back, I plan on trying to do some somewhat like tutorials, which I think will be great. I think that's the next level. I need to focus on putting together some tutorials like a lot of those guys do when you go on YouTube and say, this is option 101, whatever, right? Everybody has a different perspective, but it's still dealing with a block level of information, right? The basics, the fundamentals, as we say. And so I think I'm gonna start doing that because I offer it through a mentorship, but that's different. That's a deep dive, right? So that's a kind of 101, and we gotta we go into the lab, we work, but I also try to offer it through the other stuff too, which I can. Y'all know how I am. Or just whatever we get to talking, if we talk about it, then we gonna talk about it. But that's how that stuff is set up on that mentor side. It's more. It's personal and it's just deep diving, me and that person. But for the most part, like I say, like I've always kind of stated, what we see in investing and trading, when you traverse all different asset classes, basically you're just using a lot of your natural instinct, in terms of what you've already learned in the markets, your technicals. So obviously that's the first thing most people actually learn in trading is technical analysis. It's weird, isn't it? But that's it. When it comes to options, not only are you dealing with the technicals, you have to somewhat marry that fundamentals in, right? Because you're dealing with what data-driven, values, so to speak, right? Time, issuance, right? FDA approval coming up, a PDUFA coming up, or a patent pending, or something. You know what I'm saying? Something of that nature, or a grant being disseminated, insider buying come in, that joke the stock or whatever, right? So it gives you enough time, but it gives you the ability to allow time to allow that operation, that contract to work in your favor in the event that everything goes well. So you're just trying. I think the hardest part for me and sharing it, with somebody who's like really really new to it, is trying to get to understand, the aspect of choosing certain options, which one seems to be the most relevant, because any option will be enticing if it seems like it has a cheap price. But we all know this, the price alone is not enough, right? You got to know, where everybody's crowded at in that trade, what strike prices are more universally, appealing for people that want to, trade in around a certain technical, guideline or grid when we set our trend lines, whatever, right? And even with you guys, like I say, with you, Sister Camille, now over Marquise, I think over Chris, I don't know if you guys trade, just using the order block theory, of course, and you traverse it into options, you're still looking at a box, a window of opportunity, right? Now, those boxes are typically set in a more, this is the moment where it's getting ready to go down, kind of like scenario, right? The price action aspect before, when it's getting ready to pivot or turn or retrace, right? So on the option side of that, you'll say, okay, well, this will be somewhat like me buying in the money inside of this area of this order block, this area of interest where I think it's going to pivot, it's going to drain or whatever, right? It's going down in that area. So you will stake your option in around that area in anticipation for the particular expansion that may come afterwards, right? Be it down or up, it doesn't matter. Of course, when you establish a trend, that's all you need, ultimately. But also, you also have what they call add-ons. Add-ons would be there's a fundamental callus behind it too. You see what I'm saying? So that's what strength, right? That's that investor sentiment that comes in and say, I want to buy it as well, right? And so, of course, you get, stuff like a earnings play, right? People try to front load earnings for that same reason, right? Because it's like, well, if you can quantify the fundamentals that the company may do pretty well for a quarter, and the technicals seem to marry that of a potential breakout if they just meet or exceed their earnings number, then that's a given recipe for a nice little option trade, right? So you spend less to gain a lot. You see what I'm saying? And so it could be $100. You put up 100. Of course, you know the deal. If it goes up, 2 or 3 points, whatever, you probably have a pretty decent delta. Let's say between 80 something to 90 something. Well, that's basically mean you're going to gain between 80 to 90, 90 cents per every dollar on that move, right? And so with that, you also got the time variable, right? Time says, well, if it's expiring within the week, the closer you buy it at the expiration date, the less value you're going to get out of that trade if you try to buy anywhere out of the money, right? You need to always, the shorter time you have available for a contract, the more in the money you should be buying for that contract if you think it's still going to make a decent push for a certain direction. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
Right. And just like it's basic stuff, of course, you got to go over and over and over again. It'll set in, but you're dealing with, again, the basic. I'll put it in this perspective. You're dealing with a window of opportunity, right? Within that window, time is a factor, of course. Price action is a factor, of course, right? And also, you would say, okay, well, price value at that point, right? Meaning, what strike price seems to be the most plausible scenario. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So in an event where you can find a play, like I think Sister Monk was speaking about F cell, right? A fuel cell, right? One of those trades that, we was talking about pre-Biden, right? Meaning when he was slated to be president, of course, when he got into office and started work, and this whole idea of, pushing the Biden initiatives, right? This clean energy, green energy stuff, right? Up and down. The idea that people say, well, they're going to invest in around those initiatives, right? Because money will be flowing into those projects, so to speak, right? So plug, stocks like that, we were talking about them months in advance before it even came into the point where they're now being looked at, right? Of course, Tesla, the basic stuff, but a lot of these stocks are like dirt cheap for us, and now they're starting to get that expansion, right? Because people want to be in the trade, they don't want to miss out, what's to come, right? So in that moment, you say to yourself, okay, well, let me see if I can front run this trade, and with the intention that it will move, a month from now, 2 months from now, right? You see what I'm saying? Or 3 months from now, if you can go as far as, again, they'll allow you as far as the contracts, but you can really set a trade in motion the same way you would do an investment, and you can not necessarily, feel pressure from the idea of the performance, because it's going to mature over time based upon if it's in the right, the right sector, right? The scenario where it's breaking out because it's a sector breakout. It's because of, news. It's news driven based upon, a certain agenda. Again, executive, politics, whatever, and that makes for a great opportunity to really learn how to, number one, again, learning the trade options and use that as a way to say, okay, let me test drive it before I get a chance to own it. Because of course you can exercise and own it, but you get better at learning how to ID a lengthy time latent trade in the mindset of an investor. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? You get better at learning how to make better investments through actually trading options too, because you're sitting down some real work. You're putting down some work. Okay, let me go through my technical aspect here. Let's see what we'll look like. Given X, Y, and Z happens within a month, 2 months, 3 months. Okay, now let's figure out some price points that will be conducive to my my risk value that I want to put forth. So if it's $100 for an option that maybe you want to give it 3 months or a leap, and the stock may be $10, right? And you say, well, I want to buy the $20 calls, right? I think it's gonna make a $10 move in 3 months based upon this, that, and the third, whatever, right? In the news they may have coming up, right? That's when you taking more of an investor's mindset type of position. You're willing to risk that 100, right, for the ideal to see if you can capture at least 20-30% of the premium in that. Of course, willing, you'll be love to get in 100 if it go all the way and then some. But in that moment, you're not really worried about that money unless the stock obviously does the 180 on you, right? Just completely plummets or whatever, which in that case you have your stop losses set. But that's what you're doing. You're taking that kind of long stroll approach to it, to the reality. Now, it also can be done in a day trade, right? That's the greatest thing for a lot of people who have the availability of trades available that they can trade. Well, you day trading options, getting 100 shares of a stock for a lot less than the price it would cost you to buy it outright, right? So you got people day trading options in Amazon. Like, seriously? Yeah, seriously. I get 100 shares of Amazon, which would normally cost me what? $300,000, right? Right. Right. Well, 100 shares of Amazon is gonna cost you $300,000. Let that marinate for a moment, right? Well, you get an option contract, for a fraction of the price, right? You pay like 1,000, 2,000, somewhere around there, give or take, right? And get those same 100 shares, right? And the ideal that Amazon gives you, obviously the expansion that we typically like to get in such a trade like that, you get good liquidity rush in or out. Nonetheless, if it's dropping or going up, you take advantage of that and you can feed off such a scenario. You see what I'm saying? But it comes with you saying, okay, what's moving the stock, right? It has to be even more than just sometimes price action. That's the difference when you come from, crypto or Forex or regular equities, right? Well, equity to a degree, but you got to go back to that fundamental understand, like, well, I'm gonna need something to make sure that we're not sitting there running on blanks, right? We need to be firing cylinders, and that's only in essence if you're dealing with a shorter time frame, right? Like it says, like I bought an eBay call tonight going into earnings for eBay. Now, I can obviously break down a simple synopsis why I chose that trade, which you guys probably would end up agreeing, the way I explain it, because it just you say, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. Again, stay at home, pandemic, everybody ordering offline. They already been through their rebound journey, right? They went from basically being, kicked out of everything to now they got their stuff together, got a little extra better management, and they rebounded. And so who all else is in this space? Okay, Amazon, Shopify, Etsy. How well have they done since the pandemic? Well, they've done pretty well, right?
I better get
You follow me? So in that moment, so in that moment, you say to yourself, okay, well, okay, now I'm gonna go look at the chart. Let me see where it's at on a chart perspective, right? Let's see, where is it sitting at on some certain, guideline, grid lines, as we call it, indicators, right? Some oscillators. Let's see if we kind of, squeezing, let's see if we got some MACD crossings and, RSI looking pretty decent to kind of help with that, that momentum. Potentially that's going to come in on the back of this news. That's going to be very prolific in terms of the stock, right? Because earnings move, typically you're going to get some movement on the earnings play, right? Everybody waiting on it, right? It's kind of like, this is pent up, anticipation, so degree, right? So it's already like the most unique catalyst that you're going to get, right? Anytime earnings season's around, you know, of course, everybody's looking for certain scenarios and options that they can play. A lot of the times they're front running these plays because most stocks that are seemingly decent company, all right, if the broader market is running, I mean the SP, you know, S&P, then those stocks will run pretty much into earnings. So what we'll do, a lot of us will trade the stock with momentum into earnings, all the expectation in the hype. And it becomes a basic reality where we say what? We buy the rumor and we do what?
The news.
Sell the news. In this case, sell the what? The earnings play. Now, it could definitely beat on earnings and still go up another, what, 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks, right? But that's just it. So in eBay, you're looking at eBay here, it's the same kind of reality here. If you look at the chart, matter of fact, if you go to the daily chart, I don't know if that's the daily you have up, Monica. Come on, my little cell phone. That's the daily.
Right.
So you look at that daily there, you look at that, just, you know, the ideal of that, the chart in itself, the last, let's say from, what is that, November down there? Yeah, so from November until where we are now, well, you're basically dealing with what, close to about, you know, a 3 months, you know, window from there, right? Which is a quarter of what earnings, right? You got 3 months to produce, you know, favorable, you know, output in your company. So you had a gap, right? That happened. You end up having a gap fill. You pull back, right? Within that, when you you know, fill that gap, all right, you had that, you know, succession of red candles to pull back. But within doing so, move to your far right a little bit, Sister Monica, where those red candles that were back to back to back. Yeah, those guys there. You see what happened there? You didn't break trend, even though you filled the gap. You just got to that gap and hit that would hit resistance, right? People waiting on it there, right? But the stock ended up still holding at a certain point where it did break a what?
Yeah.
You know, it's higher lows. You see what I'm saying? It's still in a higher low channel to the upside in that moment. You know, so the bulls came in and bought that dip, knowing that, you know, next push for that resistance, a gap fill that they was gonna try to what, break it on through. So you got momentum going into the ideal of earnings based upon people pushing the stock to get it back to a certain point. And of course, if you go all the way back, yep, I just said if you go look to the left,
I'm learning.
You own it. You already own it tonight. I love it. I see it. I love this. I love it. And you say, well, what's the highest point, you know, eBay has ever been? Well, the most recent high was what?
Yeah, the 60.
How much is $60,
95.
right? Say again.
$60.95.
So around about $61, somewhere around there, right? Now do me a favor. Now, if it says $61.90, right? Run over the bar chart real quick and look at those $60 to $61 strike price. Let's see if we got some action in those areas.
That's out of the money, unless you give that.
Right, and it's not much because now you're dealing with like a couple bucks, right? And you got a catalyst because, you know, implied volatility gives you an indication how much the stock will move in a given moment when they release those earnings, right? So you're playing around that implied volatility, which will be a percentage of movement. They might be say 8%. So 8% of what? That certain price where it's, you know, where it's at now will be the dollar value what you'll probably get.
Ooh, all them got these calls a day.
What price is that?
That's 60, right?
Yeah, so 60 and the 61s, those are the ones we want to look at. What do the numbers look like there?
Great. You have 11,000 open, 11,000 open interest, 39.24, and just today volume is 11,007. So yeah.
Y'all saw what just happened right there? What happened right there in that moment?
Somebody got an epiphany and they went and bought some calls. They seen the same thing you saw in reference to.
It validated their technical analysis. It's a validation of technical analysis.
Confirmation.
Confirmation all day, every day. So now that same strike price becomes now what, you know, I guess a pinnacle, a point of interest, I should say.
Yeah.
To reach that. And we also know that it has potential to go to 58 because the more we can go check the ATR. That's one way. And then we also can check its what? Implied volatility. Right. So the amount of implied volatility it also has going into its earnings gives you some kind of form of reference to degree of what the dollar amount may be once it breaks or goes, if it breaks or goes at that point.
$1.67.
Yeah, so $1.67. All right, so I think today it was up near around near $59, $59, something like that at the peak before it pulled back a little bit.
chart. I love this fundamental.
What happened?
I'm digging eBay's fundamentals. Them financials look great.
Yeah, they didn't turn the show around. They didn't turn the ship around. So, for me, it was like, okay, yeah, I seen all the bases of that I needed to see. So I was like, you know what? So when the call that I bought, because I could have bought the 61s, but that's what that's where the heart resistance. So I bought $1, under. I bought the $6 call because as you see there, how much volume on that entry day.
Not 11,061.
And the open inch is solid right there too.
Yep, solid.
Right. And so also you say to yourself, okay, well, if you look at from 61 to 65, right? Because keep in mind, $half, whole dollar marks. Most people like to buy on those levels.
Yeah.
Look at the $65 calls.
Right here. Yep.
You see how it's heavy from the $60 area all the way down to 65. And then all of a sudden after that, it just gets dry. It gets a little thinner.
Yep.
In terms of the call strikes after 65.
And then the 70 jump.
So that's basically the option market signaling to you right now. This is the window of opportunity that we're looking to get out of this trade on the options. On the earnings, we can beat the numbers. And look at the price of the options. How much were they?
Man.
40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, $1. So that dollar that I spent buying that $6 strike price, tomorrow if it holds up near 64, 65, well, that's going to be a quick little $500, 500%. All I did was use the chart. I used the catalyst of the earnings. I used the fundamentals of seeing what the company had done to a degree, what I could account for in terms of how well they've done thus far within the past 3 months, right? Because they're gonna leave a track record of that, right? They typically do when they file dropping press releases, and you can go check a little deeper and see what any kind of analyst may have already dug up to about the company. And then I say, well, look at the pattern. What kind of patterns do you see right there coming from the highs back at $6.95? You see a big U-shaped pattern.
Yep.
See, there you go, all the way around. That's textbook. That's textbook all day, every day. Right? Clearly, you see a big U-shaped bottom there. And so anything in that moment there, it's going to be that kind of level of we actually did. There you go. Draw that screen right there. We did it with that Leo trade the same way. And we nailed that trade. We did it with Tesla. We done all these trades that we do like this. This is what we're doing. We're trying to establish a level of charting supremacy, fundamental, value.
So those the price on those calls was $1 something?
Yep. $100.
Yeah.
$100 and 19
The
cents.
$6 strike price was $1. I think I paid for mine like $1.20. I think I paid $1.20 for mine for the $6 strike price. So that's basically a little bit out the money, you know what I'm saying? But it was favorable at that strike price because you had the volume there. You had a resistance of an all-time high. Of course, in this case, when I say the most recent high, that's 60.95. And so everybody saw that the same way. So it was a crowded trade in around that contract strike price. Does that make sense? They were telling you in so many ways, this is the price action we're expecting. You see what I'm saying? That's why I love our option, because it basically cheats and says this is what everybody kind of trading in around. Well, guess what? They did that with GameStop. Remember when we broke down GameStop trade and why we knew it was going to squeeze, and why they squeezed it? Because they used the short gamma squeeze, the gamma squeeze technique on the short sellers. It was over shorted, right? So what they did, they bought higher strike prices, which in essence, the same way how you heard of short sellers, when you hold a position and you say you have a certain what they call like you want to set your limit sale price. Basically, what you do is you set a higher limit price. Short sellers cannot cover on lower bids at that point. They will be forced to cover at a higher price at that point. It's an old technique and it's legal and it works if everybody kind of get on code, but you got to get on code. But they actually did that with GameStop, right? Everybody got on code and started buying all the 115 strike prices that was left within that weekly option or within that expiration value. And then they turned around and bought the 200 ones. And those were way out of the money at that time. Keep in mind, at that point, GameStop was like, gosh, I want to say like 30, 40, 50 bucks. And they bought that far out the money, which by value, the next day or next 2 or 3 days after that, the market makers at that point that do the option, the SIBO, had to now start raising the premiums of the options, right? From anything under that, from that 100 even down to like 50 to accommodate for everybody piling in way up there, which again cause a problem when you got a short covering time restraint that's getting ready to come to a point where they got to cover their shorts, right? Their margin basically, and then they got to reshort after. But at that point, once they all cover all at once, what's going to happen? It's going to squeeze, right? Because you got all this buying pressure that's kind of forcing them the shorts at this point, to make obviously a hard decision whether they want to keep their short on, meaning cover then get back in, or just relinquish that trade altogether. So if they're covering a short with millions of shares, think about that, millions of dollars and millions of shares, that's crazy for a recipe for the squeeze, right? That will happen. So short story long story short, in this case, it's the same reality. When you say, well, I'm just playing for a short-term volatility expansive move based upon everybody crowding the trade in between $60 to 65, barring they beat their earnings. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to risk, basically in this case, when we do a risk versus reward, you remember we should talk about that a lot, especially we talk about it still, but when you're going through training and understanding how to read risk, right? How to manage your risk, right? How not to over trade, not, under trade within the confinements of what you were able to, attain or assess and be responsible for. So you say to yourself, in this case, in options, you say, well, since I got all this multiplied, value in the option trade by getting 100 shares for a lot less of the price, we're saying like maybe a tenth of the price, 600% of the price value. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I can work with this a little bit better, right? In terms of if I can get the move that I'm planning for here, that will give me a better risk versus reward schematics. Does that make sense? Like I'm gonna put up 100 and that's to try to make what 2 or 3, right? That's a 1 for 2 or 1 for 3. Y'all know we love them odds, right? Anybody around the planet will love such odds like that, right? Put up 100 to make what 200 or 300. You see what I'm saying? That's what option gives you. It gives you that singularity aspect of potentiality that doesn't have to require you having to put so much capital up. You see what I'm saying? And risk it. Even though you can still put stop loss on your money and all that, we get all that. But now you got, if you don't have to put up that much capital, well, what can you do with the other capital that you have? You can spread it across other scenarios. You see what I'm saying? You're not limited if you're working with, let's say, $5,000, right? You don't have to worry about, okay, I got to put buy 1,000 shares of this little penny stock to really make something happen. No, you're like, nope, I'm gonna get me some options here. And keep in mind, you could buy several contracts. Now, of course, you could buy 2 or 3, 10 contracts. You don't have to just buy one, right? And so that's the great thing about that. Right. Now, if you to really compound your momentum, you end up with 1,000 shares as opposed to 100, right? Because obviously I could have just bought 10 contracts, right? I bought 10 contracts. It would have cost me around about what $1,200, right? $1,200 and change, right? Somewhere around the $1,300, right?
So question, that so that's the price on those options, $1.75, $1.19, 96 cents. That's the price on 100.
Yes, that's when they say that. It
right.
Means
So it's 100 shares in a contract.
That's it. So
it's $1.75 times 100.
Right. So that'd be like $175. If you see one for 47 cents, that's basically $47.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime you see those ones like that, you'll be like, okay, yeah, this contract is 80 cents, so it's gonna be $80 for this contract. So basically, you're getting 100 shares for $80, though. But the stock might be what, $200, right? So technically that would be what, $2,000. Or excuse me, 100 shares time. Excuse me, 20,000. Excuse me, 20,000. If you to buy 100 shares of a $200 stock, you see what I'm saying? But you're getting it for what, $80, right? You see how that makes sense? So it's awesome in that regard. And so in this case, you're going to trade it because if you don't want to take ownership of it and exercise it, which obviously in this case, if you buy, let's say you bought a $200 stock, you buying, stock that's you trading for the $210 strike price, right? So basically what happens is if stock hits that 210 strike price and goes a little bit higher, let's say it runs all the way to 220, right? Now, if you want to take ownership of that trade that now own it outright, you say, well, I have a strike price where I have ownership at $210, right? But the stock even at now is at 220, you have to put up the difference in profit that you made to pay for that extra for those 100 shares. So if you made, let's say you made $1,000 off that trade, right? If you had a delta that was just 1 for 1. And so for every dollar went up, you made $100. So you made $1,000 from 200 to 210. You still owe $19,000 to own this trade outright at 210 if you decide to, but you don't have to. So you say, what? When I come up to my expiration date, what are you going to do? You're going to sell it.
Gonna sell it, yeah.
Just go on and sell it, get right, because that way I have to take ownership of the shares outright, and just go on about your business, right? And there's other techniques too. There's things they call like a rollover. If you want to roll it over, that means you can just what happens is you'll close out that trade and you'll buy the same existing strike price, right, for the difference of the price and hold it at that strike price for even longer at that point. And that's a rollover technique. That's a little bit, it ain't complicated, but most people ain't doing that unless they just really hedging. Most people use that technique, the hedge with. And some people use it for opportunity to really stay within a moment where a stock might just have constant price action, right? And so that's again, a really good intelligent technique, though. It really is. Truly it is. All right. So, but that's what you're dealing with. Like I said, I know I said a whole lot, but you're trying to.
It made sense.
It's making sense. Okay, that's all I need to hear. See how that made my night. I know, because I know this stuff a lot of times, like you said, is man, all this crazy stuff, man, all these, Greeks and all this, of course, like what's all this foolishness, right?
I mean, I understand that that's a way to customize, your trade, but starting out, you just want to deal with long and short. I mean, and then I think you can, grow into the other thing.
Well, of course, like I said, you always come in with a base fundamental approach. Like I said, the first thing you learn how to trade when you come into learning how to trade the market is you learn how to trade long. Most people just learn how to trade long. That's it. You become an instant perma bull, right? Because you're excited. I'm just going to trade. I just want to go long, right? And then you get some skills like, oh, I can trade against the stock too. Oh, whoa, okay, this is nice. Now you start seeing all the complexities of the opportunities that are afforded, right? But most people always come in learning just how to go long in the market. And that's good, right? I always tell people you need to have the mindset to realize, the value or the strength that of a company that it could potentially produce, right? That don't mean you fall in love and marry the company. You just say, so let me see how good you really are, Apple, right? Let me see how bad you really is, Amazon, right? Or how, awesome you really is, Tesla, right? And so now you say, well, I'm going to read up on this company, right? That's the first thing most people do. They go to reading into their little company, right? Well, when you do that, what are you doing? You're gaining what? Insight in terms of how that company operates, what they do, how they generate income, at what levels do they generate certain levels of income, right? Who digging in their pocket, who don't dig in their pocket, right? It makes sense in that regard because now you become an equity stakeholder in the company. As we know from a fundamental perspective, you become a an owner, right? It's like you own a share of a team in a lot of ways, right? I don't care if it's a 16th of or whatever, or of the team, doesn't matter. You own it, right? So you have interest, basically, right? Interest in the company. So you want to know that they're doing good, and it translates into you having growth in your money, right? Basics, right? This is 101. This ain't nothing that's outside of anybody's scope to learn this, even if you're not trading. But in doing so, you equip yourself with a little bit more understanding of how these things begin to work, right? And then you say, well, I'm gonna do a little something different, right? I'm gonna trade this, I'm gonna learn trading options as a way to give myself more bang for my buck, right? I got this fundamental data analysis down. I'm understanding how to trade and chart, technically better, right? Through my indicators, oscillators, whatever, right? Grid lines, order blocks, whatever. And then you say, okay, now let me marry the two. Does it make sense?
Yep. Technical with fundamentals.
There you go. Because now it's no different than, again, just on the job. You know how hard you got to work to attain a certain level of money, right? How much output you got to put in to get what you want. If you want a little extra, then you got to ask for what time and a half or overtime, right? it's the same reality. You got to marry your technicals with the fundamental, with the ability of what the company may offer, what they, whether or not you can perform it, right, or whatever, through the energy. But nonetheless, that's what you're doing, right? And so you're having that window of opportunity presented through the strike price. The ideology of what you think it could hit, not having delusions of grandeur. Like, no, I think it's gonna go run to 100. I'm just gonna buy $100 strike price because they only have 5 cents a piece. Well, you're gonna lose them $5, guaranteed. Because it's just, it's not plausible that the stock, just jump up and run, let's say $40-50 in a day. If it's not normally doing that, right? Unless there's some kind of news coming out. You see what I'm saying? And so you say, let me trade within a realistic window. If I have to do a support resistance on this chart, let's say within the last month, where are my peaks? Where are my troughs, right? Where are my higher highs? Where are my lower lows, right? Where's my middle lane in there, right? Where's the place where it kind of keeps hitting in around this area, as a midline. And now you say, well, okay, this midline gives me a window of the top echelon of this stock movement, the resistance, to the down to the support area of the stock, right? And you say, well, if it keeps giving me these these signals that it keep bouncing off these areas, these pivot points here, those become confirmation, right? Remember back in the days, y'all graduated from it, though, we used to call it supply and demand, right? It gave me confirmation because it came back and hit that demand zone, and it held, right? Then at that point, okay, well, this must be my most potential or optimum place of potentiality because it's holding at the support. So now I know my stop loss is basically gonna be a little bit under that support. So your risk was defined in that moment. Does that make sense? Because at that point, you're not guessing, right? Because at this point that support has held. It might have been multiple times, right? 2 or 3 times. If nothing else, this is a good, decent support. So now my upside becomes anything to that midline to the very top of that peak point where it keeps going up there and tapping on it. Does that make sense? So you set your strike prices to mimic that midline or the top peak of that resistance, if you want to really even take it out that far, right?
But are you sharing?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I was on my screen. I'm supposed to be showing it. Okay.
No, I'm on my cell phone. So I know I probably could share, but no, I'm on my cell phone.
No, that's fine.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it's well. You good, Sister Monica?
Yeah, I was just like, am I tripping or something? Is he?
Oh no, that's not me.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to read that.
Yeah. So, but that's basically what it is. Like I said, I know it sounds like a lot, but
because I was looking too. I was like, where's the chart?
Yeah, like is it magical somehow in the world? Okay, I understood it because I'm doing it. I've been practicing on my own, but I was like, maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah, I spoke life to your chart. That's what it was. I woke it up over there. Spoke truth to power over there. That thing trying to act right. You're trying to act right. But seriously, that's what you're doing, right? And so again, basically everything I just said was pretty much what you guys already know fundamentally. I know when we grow, we get big, get better in our skill sets. You be like, man, you ain't gotta worry about all that no more. But y'all know me, I'm Mr. What? I'm Mr. Fundamentals, right? I'm Mr. Discipline, right? Yeah, I'm always gonna make sure. It's like you know what? I'm never gonna let y'all get too far away from y'all basics, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve that purpose, right? Because y'all gonna go out there and learn some bad behind stuff, and y'all gonna be killing it. But I'm always gonna be right here to say, hey, let's work on that fundamental game too, because in doing so, you always gonna stay ahead of the market. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. You can
because
never not deal with the fundamentals.
Right. It's just a part of how money works, right? There's always a good technical breakdown, but I want to know what's driving it. Besides the fact that we can say, okay, we know it's the banks and this and that, right? That underlying aspect of news. Well, it's different, obviously, doing asset class. We get that. But, in the equity side, you're dealing with what? Performance reports, basically, right? There ain't no other way around that. You're dealing with performance reports, right? FDA submissions, grants given, right? All that kind of stuff, right? Again, what happened with Novavax, right? Everybody was anticipating that news with Novavax. All you had to do is front run it. That's what's so great about some of these vaccine plays. All you have to do is front run the news that they already putting out because everybody trying to get one, right? They've been the easiest trade. That's why we were crushing Moderna,
Yep.
right? It was just like it was a give and trade. Yeah, it was a give and trade. And so some of those things, when they happen like that, you say, well, here's how I'm gonna capitalize on that, right? It's the old classic, buy the rumor, sell the news in most cases. Even if the news happens and the stock still go high, because you know you still good because everybody at that point are excited about the idea that, you know, this groundbreaking news or whatever, you know, is good for the, you know, the broader society, right? In this case, and with the vaccine. But, you know, these things obviously getting what, you know, frontline press, you know, press coverage, right? They're getting that media blitz that you want, right? The more the media talk about your stock, it could be a gift or a curse, right? We know that it could be either or. But if it's really something positive and it's really catching traction, well, guess what somebody gonna do that's watching that news television cycle that night? They're going what? They're gonna go buy the stock, right? And so now you got all this liquidity coming in because people are excited about this information, this groundbreaking data that adds liquidity, right? Now you can sell into it to somebody coming in late, but at that point, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna ride the wave. If the price action takes off, it takes off. That's what happened with Novavax. Novavax did the same thing. Moderna did the same thing. As you see right there. Where is it at? It made that big move, literally went straight up parabolic. It pulled all the way back. Feel those gaps, right? And basically right there clear as they would have did. It filled both of those gaps. Did it not?
Off that bottom of the Bollinger Band and boop.
And the gap. See that gap? It filled right there to the left.
Yep.
See, that was a given. All you had to do is see that there and say, you know what? If we close both of those gaps, those big gaps right there, that means we what? We brought in the what? New money. Look at the volume decrease there. Yep, right there at the bottom, the base of that support down there. You close the gap, look at the volume, look at your RSI. All those things became apparent, right? That we're in a good position now to begin to what? Now our trek back to the upside, right?
Short.
You see what I'm saying? Now, you know what's funny? If you look at the Moderna chart that you see right here, you see this pattern here where it kind of did that move, pulled all the way back, and now bouncing, going back up, testing resistance here. This chart right here is almost identical to that same eBay chart we we're just looking at, is it not?
Yep.
It looks basically dang near identical. And it shows you just how crazy, well, it's not crazy, but just how uniform the market is in terms of when you see those things that we've been trained underneath, right? We see them as what? Cup pattern, cup and handle patterns, and all that kind of stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Because we're trained to look at it that way in a lot of ways. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, no matter how you position it, it'll, you know, pretty much give you what you need in terms of, you know, some kind of form of confirmation.
Waiting for Qualcomm or Mr. Earnings. They beat their earnings.
Yeah, they fell out of bed tonight.
Usually when they beat earnings.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying usually once they beat the earnings, people take their money and you know.
Some do, not always. That's the thing about sometimes, and that's one thing I love about trading earnings, because, you know, obviously, you know, like anything, there's no cookie cutter approach to this stuff, right? It's not the exact science, right? A lot of scenarios where you have companies who ran really heavy into the earnings, of course, those are the ones you want to be suspect of. And if they got ahead of their fundamentals to the point where their PE ratio, right, their forward PE ratios are pretty extended, as is the RSI screaming like, you know, it's time to take some profit, then yeah, okay. You say, well, if they don't really blow it out the water, I mean, they have to blow it out the water. You can't come in line, none of that. You have to blow it out the water, right? Announce something crazy or something. Then chances are you may get a little pop and then it'll drop, right? That's basically what Amazon did yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw Amazon when they released their earnings yesterday, right? On top of the fact that it was a bombshell news because Jeff Bezos stepped down from CEO, right? So all the good that came out of what they did in terms of earnings beat, it got overshadowed by the idea that they feel like Jeff Bezos not going to be sitting at the helm anymore running the ship. You see what I'm saying?
And it pulled back.
It went up actually. It pulled back first, and then it shot up and started going up and started going up. I said, okay, we go. It's gonna break, and then all of a sudden it did what? They said, you know what? Now we're gonna anything above this 32, whatever, you know, 33. We're just gonna go and take profit, right? And so that's what it did. So throughout the day, this your daily chart, Sister Monica?
Oh, it's the daily.
Just put on the hourly chart if you don't mind. so you can see exactly. There you go. All right, so you see instantly right there during the earnings, you see what happened there. See right there, you had that long that long shadow, that long wick, right? You know what that is when you see them wicks. You definitely know that much, right? So that's them spazzing out, right? And then it tried to climb. All it did went to the top of the Bollinger Bands. You see there clearly there. And then they said, what? That's it. You know, we out here. All right, we're gonna sell this one off. You see what I'm saying? So in this case, of course, even though that they beat, it wasn't enough to turn that momentum at that point because they felt like we losing the CEO, right? We losing the face of the company in a lot of ways. So him leaving overshadowed their performance over the past quarter, right? Now, had we known he was going to do that, a lot of people wouldn't have bought a lot of calls in the earnings, right? I did, of course, but a lot of people bought because they just knew Amazon was going to beat. Well, how do we know Amazon was probably going to beat earnings over the past 3 months? What happened over the past 3 months?
Well, the pandemic and deliveries and, people doing all that shopping and stuff off of Amazon.
Come on with it. Say it with your chest, right? This stuff ain't rocket science. We got to start getting in the mind and start thinking like how this consumers that we live underneath or with and understand how the basic commerce stuff move based upon holidays and cyclical seasonal values, right? You came from a Thanksgiving or a Halloween to a Thanksgiving to a Christmas. All that was done literally online this year. Seriously, not rocket science. Again, you could formulate that mindset in a teenager and him or her can break down that reality. So I'm saying they're like, well, I'm pretty sure people spending money because I know I was bugging the mess up my mom and dad, for credit card to order stuff, right? Not rocket science. So that was a cyclical seasonal boom rush of consumerism that fell on in the lanes of Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, eBay, right? eBay. You see what I'm saying? It was easy to see that they was gonna get all that revenue, right? No one nobody driving no physical strip malls and going up in the stores like that. You know what I'm saying? Not risking it. You see what I'm saying? So it just made for understand that they're gonna really do well during this season. On top of the pandemic, pushing everybody online to shop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, you know what that is? That's what they call a natural fundamental observation. You do not have to go to college to learn that, right? You didn't have to dig through a whole lot of deep news releases and stuff like that to even get that basic understanding before you even done all that. You see what I'm saying? And so you a lot of this stuff, that's the fundamental side of you saying, let me think this thing all the way through. If I was in this position, the consumer or the CEO, how would I be looking at this moment? How would I have looked at the last 2-3 moments, right? 2 or 3 months, the last, whatever. Now let me see if I can go validate it by any kind of press releases, any kind of, good data that they might have put out, to kind of front run their earnings report. You see what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So you absolutely do that in the same way you would trade an option. So let's say if the fourth quarter of data starts during the month of October, right? End of October, you get what they call the fourth quarter actual starts and turns. That's when the record button starts, rolling in terms of whatever they do from that point all the way up into March of January, right? And then we get a chance to see what that progress was. Come the first end of last week or so in January, going into February, you finna start seeing all those performance reports that happened over that time period between the end of October to then, right? And all you say, well, what was going on during that time frame from the consumer standpoint, right? Did we hear anything new about this? Did they speak about buying electric trucks, to ship your products in now? Did they reduce their workforce? Did they increase their workforce, right? Did they speak about, flying them drones over your house, dropping your packages out, right? All that stuff is innovative, right? It's the stuff to get people all excited, right? They get all fuzzy. Oh, this why I love my company. See, I'm gonna buy more shares. So you say, okay, I'm gonna front run their cyclical season. That this is the time they typically do good, right? So guess what you start doing? In the end of October, the first week in November, you buy a leap call buy. Depends on where the stock is at that point, of course. Technicals, all that. For Amazon earnings. I buy a contract that's going to expire in end of January or February, right? or even let's say mid-January, because you're still front running what? The news, right?
Yes.
And you say, well, I'm just gonna let the stock bang out with all this, whatever up until then, and then I'll sell even before they even drop the earnings. So this is the kind of stuff that when you think about it, of course it makes sense, right? Did y'all follow me there a little bit?
Yes.
This is how you start thinking like a boss, right? This is how you think like a Bezos or Elon or any of these jokers. I don't care who they are. It's not like you're not, able to, right? It's just that you got to stop and say, well, you know what? I'm going to use them, right? The same way they would be using me if I was the way that I'm buying their product, right? The same way I got my little Amazon Prime, right? I'm finna get some of that back and then some, right? Because I'm gonna use the idea of everybody that's excited about the scenario from an investor standpoint and get some, take advantage of this movement. And that's how this stuff works. Literally, it works that way. You don't have to be a purveyor of understanding all this stuff in AWS and all the cloud logistical play. You could if you want. That's nerd stuff, nerd stats. But ultimately, you just need to know enough to know all the basic overview. You see what I'm saying? If you can get through a basic overview of what their company's doing, whether it's really progressive for their growth and evolution, or it's just, this is to be a CapEx moment. I mean, they're finna spend some money, some R&D moment. That means they're gonna what? Spend a lot to gain some a little later. So at this point, you already know, okay, they're gonna have a bad quarter, right? Well, guess what? Amazon typically does that kind of spending during their third quarter. It's cyclical for them. Their third quarter is typically when they spend money to get ready for what? The shopping season. Makes sense, doesn't it? Ramp up everything you need, get all the logistics in play. And so when we get into that fourth quarter recordation, all that stuff is in place. So everything runs like what? Fine wine, shipping and logistics, and making sure people got their product, because it's gonna be what? They're gonna be ordering a whole lot. You don't have any kind of congestions in the order flow and shipping stuff. See, that's not rocket science. So typically the third quarter for Amazon is gonna be odd in some cases. Because if they gave you guidance in the second quarter saying, well, hey, during the third quarter, we're going to do a little bit more extra R&D, right? Or a little CapEx spending to make sure we ramp up, get ready, then you already know what's going to be happening during the third quarter, right? They will literally tell you that on the current earnings conference calls, right? So again, that's just next level. I don't want to go too deep, right? But I just want to paint that picture in you guys' heads when we start thinking about trading options. Yeah, of course you could just do it strictly on technicals and technicals alone. Of course you can. Trust me, you can. You really can. But if you really want to take it to the next level and front run, right? That's what I'm working with Sister Deshonda, right? And even with Sister Kiana and a few other people that's taking my little option little course. To think, well into the future, right? But you ain't got time to sit there and babysit an option trade. You shouldn't have to. That's the whole purpose of option trade. Now you can, but you don't have to, right? It's like I'm gonna set it, I'm just gonna monitor it, and I'm gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna short that USD JPY or something, right? I'm gonna go do whatever. But while that's happening, you still got the little option play over here in the corner just cooking, right? It's cooking, right? It's cooking on high heat, and like the case of F-Cell with Sister Monica, right? Because we taught those electrical plays up like that, these little EV plays up, these clean energy plays up for a long time, right? And now their ticket got punched. Did they not? Of course they did, right? Because we knew if he won, meaning Joe Biden, those were going to be this top initiative that he was going to work on first, right? It was a given. So I'm going to look for anything that's dealing with clean energy, EV plays, energy stuff, right? Even Tesla, all that stuff too. And I'm a front run this news, right? The same way when I did with my little first solar trade, right? The little solar panel company. I front ran their earnings and crushed it. made a nice little bag, right? That's what all you're doing. You're using all those things in your advantage. The political, the commonality of what a company typically puts out in terms of their, daily reporting, or whenever they report, I should say, not daily, but they updating their shareholders. This is what we're looking to do. This is what we're trying to do. Oh yes, now we're seeking to get grants because this is going to be good for us, right? We're going to see if we can, equip this strip mall with solar panels, whatever the case, right? However it is, right? You try to build these new lithium batteries, right, to replace, this and that. You just fall in the money. You fall in the innovation in the same likeness. Does it make sense? And you submit your position based upon those parameters in or around those parameters. You see what I'm saying? And then also in doing so, you already got a good understanding again what a stock is at on the technical level. You know your base areas of launching or your launching pads, as I like to call them, right? Them nice, well-founded support areas where you get in real early, front running, right? And then it takes off. Or in some cases, like I think Oba Marquis asked me, man, that would have been nice if I'd have got in on a solver trade, right? Right? Love to get your ticket punched like that. Well, people, the same way that people bought $12 call options on GameStop when at that time the stock was on like $6, and they had contracts that was for like the month of April for a $12 call, and guess how much they were costing at that point? You start crying if you look at the price of what GameStop was for the call option before it took off and got all this Wall Street Reddit stuff. Them contracts no more than like 30, 40, $50 a piece for like 3 months and 4 months out, 5 months out, dang there. They were dirt cheap, $60, $70, somewhere around there for a $12 call option for GameStop at that point when it was trading around about $3, $4 a contract. Literally back in November, somewhere around the November, December area. And now that contract, when it ran to 500, is worth how much? Somebody do that math real quick, so y'all get sick and go through it real quick. Like, man, why get in on it? Right? That kind of stuff. That's basically what $490 or $490 plus, of course, if you bought it at 6 and it ran to 12 quickly, what you did times 100.
Yeah, that's something.
How much is that? What's 490 times 100?
That's 40,000.
How much?
Oh, you said 490.
Yeah, 490 times 100. How much is that? Anybody?
That's 49,000.
So 49,000. So a contract that you spent like $30, $40, $50 on is now worth how much?
49,000.
Say it with your chest.
49,000.
Somebody in the back chat don't believe this stuff. When we be talking about this stuff, they're like, y'all just throwing them around, making up stuff. And then when we show them, then they be sitting there like, see, they get dry throat. Because they don't believe this kind of money we be floating in around all day. Right? The same way somebody bought those Solver contracts, they bought the $20 strike price or the $25 strike price in that Solver trade, and now sitting at $130 here after hours tonight. In 2 days, this thing went from basically $18 to $130. You see what I'm saying? That kind of reality.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up $100 times 100 on that trade already out the gate. So you wake up a nice little crispy 10 grand plus, and you might have paid a couple $100 or whatever, something like that. Right. So that's why, again, you equip your arsenal to learn everything about this game that you can. Why wouldn't you, right? What's keeping you from not wanting to learn all this? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Because if you convince yourself that you should not learn other aspects of learning how to be more, have that multiplicity aspect of looking at the market to make money from it, then you're going to have to wait for certain things to line up for you to be able to make money, right? No one wants to be sitting there going through that if you don't have to. Of course, not that you have to, but I'm always saying, steal from everybody. Y'all know that's one of my favorite sayings. Steal from everybody, but find your own your own niche, your own niche. Why wouldn't you? Right? I've been saying that for like 30 years. Right? Steal from everybody. That's what the game is about. Reverse engineer, and then you go out there and capitalize on it. That's what everybody else do to us, do they not? Everybody reverse engineer the black man talent or the black woman talent, and they turn around and go make billions off of it. And you get a little shout out on the radio, a little name recognition, right? Don't do nothing for your community.
Because signed this letter of intent to Michigan State. Anybody to Michigan. Anybody to capitalize on.
You see how that work? But we ain't playing that game anymore, especially us. We definitely ain't playing that game anymore. I know I can speak for myself. I probably can speak for most of y'all too, but we ain't playing that radio like that anymore, right? It just doesn't make sense to be back of hustling like that purposely. So people who are serious about growth and evolution, well, guess what they're doing? They're equipping themselves with the proper knowledge to go out there and get what's just been taken from them, right? So basically what we're doing, we're just trying to steal back what was stole from us, all right? So we're just using the stock market in this case, right? So that's the energy. right? I'm gonna go get my ancestor money. Y'all lying. Y'all can go get this bag. And so, that's your focus. That's your, hey, I'm gonna go get this bag today. Let me not short my moment. Let me take it to the full extent of knowing what I can know to put myself at the best advantageous moment. Oh, and then to stop having to act retarded today and run up $100 or $200, and that's a part of doing what? Business. I just need to make sure that I stay ready, so I don't have to worry about doing what? Getting ready.
Yep.
Worst thing you can do would be fumbling trying to get ready when everything then what already happened.
That's right, buddy.
And all you had to do was have a little money put in this little account, waiting a little bit. It's over here ready and waiting. Wait, you already of the mindset because you're running an online business. That's what you're doing when you become an investor or a trader. You run an online business. Treat it as such. Right? You have to go out there and talk like bottom shelf Brad or Karen, but understand. Get used to formulating some executive decisions in your head, and then how to articulate them. Obviously in your own language, but just basically learn how to talk it out, or explain exactly why you're taking this trade to yourself, right? And of course, you can share it with somebody else too, but get used to doing that. And then learn how to politic, right? About how to get the bag. Does it make sense?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Right, so that's what we're here for. And so I'm always gonna make sure I be here to be that backstop. So when y'all stray away from fundamentals, I'm like, hey, don't forget your fundamentals, right? Right. If you get too deep in fundamentals, I'm like, hey, don't forget your technicals, because we need to be balanced. Because at some point you're gonna transfer this skill set to your children or your nieces, your nephews. Don't be shorting them just because you love technicals and just get them technicals on. They be like, what else I do if I learn? No, get them the full scope so they can play what? They can play ball. Right? You may be a person that loves fundamentals and fundamentals on. No, teach them technicals as well. So the goal is to marry the two. You marry the two, you'll always stay around the money, or you'll have high probability of getting the money. I should say that. Right? You're gonna be in that 10% echelon that's making money, and the 90% is gonna be your what? Unfortunately, they're gonna be your cattle. Because they're moving on what? Emotion, they're moving on all that craziness, they just all over the place. Unprepared, they just whatever. So guess what the market gonna do? It's gonna mature them up really fast. Or they're just gonna what? They just gonna what? Buy out. Meaning they're gonna buy out gracefully. I can't do this. Because they came in with the wrong mindset. They think everything just, supposed to be cookie cutter. That's not how this stuff works. No, you got to really take ownership of it. The same way you be running your own business with a business license and and so to that nature, look at the responsibility that you have within that. Well, it's the same thing when you trade or when you're investing, either one. All right. So again, that's the stuff that excites me, because I know, man, I've always said this, no matter who, got that knowledge, because we learn from each other. That's what I love about this. It's a village for a reason, right? There's no one person above anybody in this. We all learning together uniformly. We sharing what we know, right, amongst each other, and it helps strengthen us in areas where we may have a little a little shyness or a little weakness, right? Because y'all know I don't like to focus on weakness. I like to focus on strengths only. But it helps you, fill in that void, so to speak. So again, in the future, you know how to go out and make better moves, right? You get sharper, you get crisper, right? Steel sharpens steel. You get faster. You multitask proficiently, like a fine-tuned machine. You see it, you analyze, you output it, and you what? You capitalize. It's that kind of reality, right? Because time is money in the markets, is it not?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Sometimes you can slow the market down like Neo in the Matrix. Can you not? Yes, you can. It's called an option trade. I'm gonna give you some time to get right, right? And I'm gonna slow everything down, to a negative integer and watch the thing move in slow mo. I'm gonna watch this money get made. Of course, being able to be in the right place at the right time. Now it's weird too, because I was thinking about that when me and Kiana broke down that AMC trade. We were mapping that trade out for months before it even took off, but we didn't know it was gonna go like that, of course. But we still mapped it out to make at least about a quick little $200-300 off this trade, right? We mapped it out literally. Again, when it happened behind all the foolishness, we're like, okay, See, this is what we plan for too, because guess what? We know at any given moment, the market ever go back crap crazy, we can also make an unlimited amount. That's what we know in the market. We can make an unlimited amount because there's no cap on this stuff. Right? That's what's exciting about this stuff. It truly is. So we were already like ready to rock. And when it happened, like, okay, yep, let's get this little bag and move on. Right? And so many other trades like that, we all done it. Different people I've done them with, whatever. But that's the goal, guys. That's the goal. That's what we're here for. Right. So I just want to make sure all the family who tunes in and watches this, all the family, in the chat, when y'all show up on the Urban Economic Empowerment shows on these Wednesdays, just know you're gonna get some solid information. We ain't finna give you that hook and crook stuff. If you want that, you ain't gonna get it. Not off my lips, at least. I'm gonna speak with the utmost respect, but I'm gonna do it with the level that I'm not gonna short you, right? And information. I'm not gonna give you that short and narrow. I'm gonna give you this is the long road, right? You're gonna get this long road because you'll learn how to appreciate it better that way. Right? Teach a man how to fish. Don't give him fish and trouts and mullets and I teach you how to fish, how to cut your own pole, thread your own line, put your own hook on there, and put the bait on there. Right? Catch the fish, scale it, and cook it. Right? That's what's gonna make a person proficient. All right. So that's what I love about this stuff. So I'll shut my mouth, as I always like to say, and I'm gonna go back to listening and learning.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Everybody quiet.
Powerful.
Right. I feel like I need to cash app you something.
Like Sinetta be saying, powerful, brother, powerful.
That's a powerful information. I should have recorded it. Forgot to record. Oh yeah, it's YouTube live. I'm tired. Oh God.
I was taking notes as always.
And nothing after that note right there.
And I just love it, it's to have certain useful things just kind of like nailed into your brain. It's just so useful. So I always appreciate that,
Yep. Thank you very much. So with that being said,
thank you, African Reporter. You caught me up to date.
Yeah, you little ghost.
Y'all know me. I'm just your brother. That's it. I'm just your brother. So I always say we pay it forward. We pay it forward in reverence to the ancestors, and we pay it forward into what? Our progeny that's gonna come after us. You know what I'm saying? Meaning our nieces, our nephews, our young kids. Okay, real quick. Again, I am gonna shut my mouth. But again, anytime y'all feel like y'all slipping, or you ain't, you really ain't at that point where you're ready to take it to the next level, right? You need the extra motivation. Look at that little 13-year-old kid. His mama bought him them GameStop stocks for Christmas. Remember, I always talked about that for like the last 30 years. I've been saying, hey, stop buying your niece and nephew's trash.
Nope.
Right? I ain't no disrespect, but stop buying the stuff that's going to depreciate. Start buying them kids stocks. Start buying them kids, things like that. Then educate them on it. So, because one day, you don't know, that thing could turn around and buy everybody in the house Christmas, right? Them investments, right? So that little kid, mama bought them she bought him a few little shares too. She ain't buying him a whole lot. She just bought him a few, and he cashed out over $3,000. See, that's the kind of
he's gonna be thinking about every day now.
Yeah, he lit. He lit now. That little boy lit. He lit for life. Think about that, what that does to a child's psychology at that age when you make that kind of money.
I think Kim, I wonder where Kim at. Kim, that's how we got Kim. Son is he 13, 12 or 13? Shamika, do you remember? Kim son.
I think he's like 12. I think he's 12 or 13. Yeah, he is 12 or 13.
He picked out his stock. He had GameStop and
Nike.
Nike. So he should have made some money. Travis seen Kim in a minute. I have to ask her. Her son should have made some too.
They somewhere on the island right now. That's why you ain't had time to ask.
I know. They done ran off. I had to find her. Yeah.
$40-50 in the options turned into like 40-50,000. See, that's the kind of stuff. Even though they probably wasn't trading options, but just think about that. $40-50-60 turned into like 49,000.
Yep.
Y'all ain't
I
about
be
that.
trying to get my daughter into it, but she like little Frank Einstein in there. She be trying to mix chemicals and stuff. I'm like, no, you killing us. Get your money.
She in the
Do it
science,
both ways.
girl. That's still good.
Yeah, you can do it both ways, because that's the great thing I love about the market, because whatever they do from a hobby or a profession is relegated back to what? The global markets.
Yeah.
There's a product or a service behind it, right? There's a producer, distributor, or seller behind it, is it not?
Yeah.
See how
That's true.
that work? See how that work? You
That's
can't
true.
escape it. That's what I love about it. You can't escape it. You can't. You say, well, hey, you like this chemical set? You like this? Let's go find a company that produces it. Oh, Dow Chemical Companies? Oh, DuPont, BASF? Oh, them stocks are publicly traded. So let's keep up with the company and how well they producing. See how that stuff works?
She was telling me about the Chronos thing I brought. I think I'm married to, because I ain't messed with it. I just brought it in. Ain't been researching it, but it's like she's like, oh, that's titanium oxide, and it's due to. I was like, I don't know what you're saying right now.
Yeah, you can learn the stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about this. You learn by understanding how business works, just by default. I didn't learn. I mean, I had a sense of science before I really got into biotech stock. That's how I started out. Since Camille, when I brought you on, at that time we were all still trading what? The biotech stock. We were questioning biotech stocks. That was popping a lot, especially in 2017. Right. So I learned a lot, because those were the stocks that were instantly in the mind of what they say in the investing world. Those were your lottery ticket trades, because their goal was to produce a product, basically a drug or something, get discovered by a bigger company, and then turn around and get what? Bought out, right? So you get in at 30 cents, 50 cents, $1 or something, and the company start, banging out some good data, groundbreaking data. Oh, the Johnson Johnson or Eli Lilly or, Biogen or Amgen, somebody gonna come, we're gonna buy you up, right? We're gonna buy you. Matter of fact, a company I had been trading for a long time, they got bought out today. GW Pharmaceuticals. Right, GWPA, they deal in marijuana.
Yeah, I see
right?
it.
They're on the cannabis side of what? Medicine, right? So Cara, some of them other ones, NC, I mean, these stocks have been like for years. Look what they did today. Look at that chart right there.
I seen it and I was like, oh man, it was way up by the time I said, I was like, oh, they getting bought out. That's what's going on.
But you know what? It's the season for it now. Why did I say that?
It's everybody trying to produce the cure, so to speak, or the product with the pandemic coming in.
Not just that. We'll have a Democratic legislation. What do Democrats favor right now that everybody been waiting on?
Yeah.
That Republicans would not. Decriminalizing marijuana. Stop, guys. Y'all need to stop playing like y'all don't know this stuff and y'all see this stuff in passing. And you cutting on your news in your little state saying we finna push to get medical on marijuana or just recreational. But Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker, and so on. So just the other day was on the news saying we trying to make a federal mandate to decriminalize marijuana. Federal. Everybody been waiting on this to this day. Federal, not just state, but federal. If it becomes federal, that means it moves off of what? Schedule 1 drug. How many black people they got let out of prison if they do that? Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing and pay attention.
And they pushing the climate change thing too. The Democrats is pushing the climate.
We spoke about that. FCL, all that. But see how that works? Y'all ain't had to go to school to learn all that. You just gotta pay attention a little bit. In between, being y'all and being great, being amazing. But you also stop to smell the roses, right? Let me see what's going on, because I could capitalize off this from an investment standpoint. Could you not? Yes, you can. Well, before you had no clue how you could benefit off this unless you was going to build a product or service. You say, well, guess what? I'm going to invest in it then. I got them jokers right where I want them now. Well, all these little marijuana companies now finna start popping. Let's go TRA. Let's go CGC. Let's go Chronos, right? Let's go F-Real. Let's go Hexo. Let's go IGC, right? Let's go Organigram, right? Let's go look where they at right now. Put the monthly chart up on the marijuana stocks.
My stand looking good. Which one we want? Any
one of them. I already know. MJ, Tilray, CDC, Chronos, Hexo, APH, ABA. I'll be here for days. OGI, one of my favorite. OGI. Again, I can go down the list. Pull up your monthly charts.
Which one?
Matter of fact, pull up OGI. Organigram. That's a little company that produces out of South Africa. Right? They got one of the most hard hitting strains out there to me. Look at that. See how that works? How much that stock?
Oh,
How much?
$2.36.
Where did it come from? Down there on that low point down there? What it was down in that low point right now?
$1.61.
See, I'm gonna stop playing with y'all. Y'all ain't ready. That's the price of a gallon of gas, what it used to be back in the day. Everybody called that diesel for a reason, right? I'm gonna buy some of that diesel, right? That would be you the people on the block. Well, give me some of that diesel, bro. Yeah, let me get some of that real diesel down here, $1.60 a gallon. Let's go get this stock. Get this stock then. You bought that life and sit on it. You're gonna thank yourself later, possibly, because we moving into what? That kind of climate. Legislative type climate. You said that work? So $1.60 now it's sitting at what? 2 and change.
Yep.
We knew this was gonna happen before it even happened. Know why? Because we knew that by one, what was gonna happen.
Yep.
These were part of those initiatives. See, y'all better come on, man. I ain't no worry. I keep telling y'all I'm gonna go lock myself off in the underground bunker one day, about a good year. I ain't gonna come out, I have a long beard. They're gonna where African for man? You somewhere there trade. They're gonna make a killing somewhere. And come out a year later looking like somebody, who child is this? Y'all lost, what happened to him?
Who child is this?
He's down in the bunker somewhere there trading and eating MREs for a whole year.
Who child is this?
But no, seriously, I really want you guys to see it from that reality. What's stopping y'all from knowing it? See how that works? What's stopping you from not knowing it? And then really out to stop you from knowing it. These are things that affect us, our community, our people. Do they not? Of course they do. So of course we have a higher interest in them too. So all I'm saying is you can invest your interest. You can invest just knowing that this is good, just for the greater good of people, whatever, however, if doesn't matter. There's always a rhyme or reason aspect, right? And to a degree, right? Because it's all cyclical. It's global commerce. It's the global capital markets. It's the tissue in your house, to the toothbrush, right? To the chemicals inside your little, cleaning products. And you see how that works. It's all ubiquitous in a lot of ways, right? So you have to start looking at things in that nature. They ain't nothing separate you from being that kind of level of, intellectual mindset when it comes to formulating an investment thesis. Really ain't nothing separating us from it. Be honest. So that's how you got to come at things. Go get that, man. Go get your ancestors' money. I'm gonna leave on that. Go get your ancestors' money. Stop playing. Go get their money that's owed to them. I'll leave it at that.
All right, y'all.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Peace and love. Welcome to Urban Economic Empowerment. I see y'all at 6:30 in the morning. Because get up and do her.
I'm eat my oatmeal.
You can eat your oatmeal. You've been watching, huh?
I've been eating oatmeal.
Okay.
I use the steel cut oats. I'll put some blueberries and some blackberries.
You should jump on in the morning.
I'll be in the background just being quiet, watching, observing.
That's right. Y'all know I can't play with y'all too long no more. So I have to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yep.
But I see you guys in the morning. Peace, power, and profit. Thank you, Brother African Emporium, Marquise, Brandon, Camille, Chris, all you guys, Shamika, all you guys out there. And thanks to the Chandra earlier. So if you're a sister, you got sisters, you got wives, you guys might want to revisit that show. The earlier show, bring awareness to your medical health and wellness for the sisters. Look forward to upcoming interviews as such as we keep our community educated on these life-changing events. All right, so peace and love, you guys.